So coming 3 months, we are going to study IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, basically in simple language, accounts. The preparation of financial statement, that is profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, notes to accounts. All these are called financial statement components. And the financial health of an organization is presented by these financial statement. It's a technical area. I mean to say that not everybody in the world know this, how to prepare the financials, how the transactions will be accounted for, how they will be presented. But then the requirement is for everybody. If you are the investor, then you need to know the financials of the company. If you are a financier going to give money to any organization, you need to know the financials of the company. If you are a supplier, you need to know the financials. If you are a customer, you should be knowing the financials. So requirement is for everybody. So it's a public service that those who knows how to prepare financial statement and those who can help the organization to prepare it ethically, then in that case, it's a public service. The auditors help the organization, or I will say the accountant, help the organization to prepare the financial statement. And the job of the auditor is to audit those financial statements so that the correct financial picture should be brought in front of the users of the financial statements. So it's a technical field. Not everybody on this earth know this. And we are getting the opportunity to know this, how to prepare the financials that we are going to discuss in coming 3 months. Now, whether the 3 months is sufficient, I will not say sufficient or not, because it's a questionable thing. Because maybe the knowledge of preparation of financial statement cannot be complete anytime. Because so many new things go on coming, how to record the cryptocurrency, accounting, or different types of, so many types of financial instruments are arising day by day. So it's something which is a changing field, which is regular changes are there. We need to upgrade whatever we do in the course, but at least a basic understanding should be there so that if any new things comes, we will be able to record it, we will be able to present it, and we can say that we are actually an accountant. I'm not using the word chartered accountant. We can say we are a person who knows accounts, and we can help the organization to prepare financial statement, and we can help anybody to analyze the financial statements. That's our job. And that is my job to discuss that in coming 3 months. Now, the today class we are dividing into 2 parts. The first part is introduction of the syllabus, introduction of the topics, the area which we are going to study, why we are going to study, why the syllabus is designed in that manner, the exam paper pattern, the exam dates, the filling of the exam form, which material to refer, how to prepare, what should be the best course of study, best method of study. And then in the second part, we will start discussing, you can say, first topic or first area, which will take 3-4 classes, which cannot be completed in the first class. Hey, bhai. One more thing. Let me explain everything for coming 1 hour approx. And then whatever your doubts are there, you all can ask. एक बार 1 hour, if you keep silence, it will be better. Otherwise, और disturbance होएगा. So मेरे को 1 घंटे बोलने दीजिए. Let me speak for 1 hour, and then whatever your queries are there, that we will discuss. So without discussing that it is an SBR batch, it is an IFRS batch, it is a CIMA MCS batch, keep it in mind for the time being. अपने एक बार उसकी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. अभी एक बार पहले डिस्कशन को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड that what is accounting. In place of asking this, it is not the CIMA class. Why we are not concentrating what I am saying? CIMA class है कि ACC है, बाद में बात करेंगे, ठीक है? So suppose anybody in the class, we are taking an example that you are the finance manager for an IT company, maybe a startup or maybe an established IT company in India, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, whoever. आप ऐसा सोचिए कि आप फाइनेंस मैनेजर है, न्यूली अपॉइंट हुए. यू आर द फाइनेंस मैनेजर ऑफ द कंपनी और यू आर न्यूली अपॉइंटेड एज द फाइनेंस मैनेजर ऑफ द कंपनी. And the company is a multinational company. They have operations in say 50 plus countries. US, UK, Middle East, Singapore, many countries the country has operations. It's you can say any Indian IT company, Infosys, TCS, आप किसी का भी एग्जांपल ले लीजिए और आप उस कंपनी के फाइनेंस मैनेजर हैं and your company's IT operations are there in 50 plus countries. Your primary responsibility as a finance manager is to help in the preparation of the financial statements. Those financial statements will be prepared by following International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS. So your job, your primary responsibility as a finance manager is to help the organization to prepare the financial statements following International Financial Reporting Standards. At the same time, your job, because you are not only accountant, you are the finance manager. So your job, along with the helping in the preparation, the ethical preparation, the correct preparation of the financial statement following IFRS, and then helping the board members, seniors in taking strategic decisions. The strategic decision may be launching a product, maybe going into a new market, maybe negotiating with a new client, big clients, any strategic decisions. And at the same time, managing the financial risk in the company. If I will say, CIMA exam will cover all these three things. Will cover the preparation of financial statement, will cover the decision-making part, and will cover the managing the risk also. For ACCA student, it is there, but they have different subjects for this. This subject is focusing only on the preparation of the financial statements. But then the other subject, the risk management, is based on EPM. The risk management is based on SBL. The financial decision making is based on AFM. So ACCA के अंदर अलग-अलग सिलेबस है. CIM में अलग-अलग सिलेबस नहीं करके एक ही में डाल दिया है आपको. Management case study you can see in which you need to manage all the three things. अभी for the time being हमारा primary responsibility में से we are discussing the primary responsibility that we help the organization in preparing the financial statements by following IFRS principles. Before going into further of this example, anybody in the class don't have knowledge that what is IFRS? Now don't take personally. You need to upfront कि भाई मेरे को knowledge नहीं है सर, मैंने कभी IFRS का नाम नहीं सुना है या ऊपर से पता है. I don't know what is IFRS. Is there anybody in the class who have never heard this name, IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, or maybe heard but don't have any knowledge? Anybody? Be upfront, my advice. Yes, Mr. Jain.
Sir, actually knowledge है definitely. मैंने ACCA किया था. I did in 2014. उस टाइम पे इतने ज्यादा IFRS तो नहीं थे. I think 2 or 3 or something like this थे. तो वो हम लोगों ने स्टडी किया था. लेकिन अगर आप थोड़ा सा उसको रोशनी इसमें डाल दें like what it is, so it will be really helpful.
No, there are two things you are saying, sir. You will say that you are saying that you have studied IFRS, but there were only 2-3 were there. So that is wrong sentence, sir. I'm not saying that whether you recollect or not. My question was not that how many IFRS you have studied. My question was very simple, very superficial, not going into deep, very upper. कि भैया IFRS क्या है, नाम सुने हैं, क्या होता है? Any knowledge that if somebody is there in the class who don't have this knowledge also, what is IFRS? वो भी नहीं मालूम है. So is there anybody in the class? Now, when I'm saying this, I should not be asking the question like this, because if somebody don't know, he may not be asking. He is thinking that what others will think. But यही जिंदगी में प्रॉब्लम है. नहीं मालूम है, नहीं मालूम है भाई. Okay. Now, when I'm saying what is IFRS, this we are going to study in coming 3 months. So in a few minutes, I will not be able to explain, but I can explain what is IFRS. Suppose you all have given me tuition fees. I will record tuition fees as an income. To calculate the profit and loss, I will consider the tuition fees as an income. With the tuition fees, I am purchasing different types of assets to do my business. Camera, lights, computer, laptop, regularly. Not every day, but in a year, 1 or 2 times. So regularly we change the systems and all that. Then for so many years, we are using the property for doing the classes. So many assets are there. So in a company, in any organization, whether it is small, whether it is big, there are assets, there are liabilities, there are income, there are expenditures, there are different things are there. Now, Sakshi, do you have your, what do you say, your own financials? कि आपके पास कितने का assets है, how much liability you have, किसको देना है, आपका income क्या है, ऐसा कुछ आपका खुद का बना हुआ है आपके नाम में आपका?
नहीं सर, नहीं.
नहीं है.
No.
What is your age?
I'm 25.
So there is no income tax return you are filing in your?
No, I don't. No, not yet. I'm still studying.
You are studying, but definitely your father, your parents must be filing your income tax return.
Oh,
I am saying this simple reason, because in India, up till 5 lakh, the income is not taxable. So मान लीजिए आपके फादर की इनकम ज्यादा है, तो वो डेफिनेटली आपके नाम में इनकम दिखाते होंगे और उसका टैक्स बचाते होंगे. इतना बुद्धि उनको जरूर होगा यार. और नहीं भी होगा तो कोई ना कोई उनको अकाउंटेंट समझा दिया होगा कि if you want to save tax, then show some income in the name of your family, माने family members. मान लीजिए हम लोग के यहाँ है, मैं हूं, मेरी वाइफ है, we have प्रकाश सराफ, HUF also. So 3 अलग अलग फाइल में we are able to save 5 lakh, 5 lakh, 5 lakh, and it is not a tax evasion. मैं कोई चोरी नहीं कर रहा हूं. When for one individual or one entity we can save up till 5 lakh का जीरो टैक्स, तो 15 लाख तो हो गया ना. अदरवाइज तो 15 लाख पे टैक्स देना पड़ेगा.
करेक्ट.
तो आपका इनकम है, आप ध्यान नहीं दिए हो कि घर में बनता है वगैरह. आप एक बार आज क्लास के बाद यू विल कनेक्ट विथ योर फादर एंड यू विल आस्किंग कि मेरा कोई फाइल है क्या, फाइल इन द सेंस मेरा कोई फाइनेंशियल्स है क्या, कि मेरे नाम में कुछ एसेट्स है. आपके नाम में बैंक अकाउंट होगा, आपके नाम में कुछ एसेट्स होगा, जरूर होगा, तो बैंक अकाउंट कैसे खुलेगा? उसमें पैसे आ रहे हैं जा रहे हैं, उसका तो रिकॉर्डिंग करना होगा ना. तो जरूर है, आपको पता नहीं है. आप अपने फादर से आज जरूर पूछेंगे और नेक्स्ट क्लास में बताएंगे कि हाँ सच्ची. आई एम नॉट आस्किंग दैट यू नीड टू टेल मी व्हाट इज योर एसेट्स इन योर माने फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, दैट आई डोंट रिक्वायर, दैट इज योर पर्सनल थिंग. बट फिर भी आपका एक फाइनेंशियल से ये जरूर है, बिकॉज हम लोग की क्लास में कोई भी माइनर नहीं है अभी. हम लोग की क्लास में देयर इज नोबडी हु इज लेस देन 18 years of age. लाइक आई हैव माय सन हु इज 11 years of age. उसका भी फाइल है, लेकिन उसकी फाइल का इनकम टैक्स नहीं जाता, बिकॉज ही इज नॉट अ मेजर. When he will become 18 years of age, then the income tax on his income will be paid by him. लेकिन उनका फाइल आज ही से चालू है, उनका बैलेंस शीट है, उनका एसेट्स है, उनका लायबिलिटी है, लेकिन वो सब मेरे में क्लब हो जाता है. मतलब when I pay income tax, then my income, my son income combined together. That is there as an income tax clause, not only in India, it is there all over the world. बोलेगा सर हम लोग टैक्स थोड़ी ना पढ़ रहे, नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं सर, मैं टैक्स नहीं पढ़ा रहा, आई एम नॉट टीचिंग टैक्सेशन। बट देन हाउ टू कैलकुलेट इनकम, सराफ एकेडमी का इनकम, सराफ एकेडमी का एसेट्स, प्रकाश सराफ इनकम, प्रकाश सराफ एसेट्स, हाउ वी विल कैलकुलेट if we don't have accounting knowledge? I understand income tax act is different than the accounting, but then income tax act, income cannot be calculated. You cannot file your income tax return without recording the transactions, without calculating the income from the accounting principles. Accounts पढ़ने का पर्पस है, जैसे बॉडी में हम लोग के खून है, ब्लड है, प्रेशर है, बहुत कुछ है, वैसे ही एक कंपनी के अंदर एक और, नॉट अ कंपनी, एन इंडिविजुअल, अ पार्टनरशिप कंपनी और एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उसके अंदर तो बहुत कुछ है ना, उसका एसेट्स है, उसका लायबिलिटी है, उसका इनकम है, उसका खर्चा है, वो कहां से आया, कैसे आया, कब वो अराइज हुआ, उसका रिकॉर्डिंग कैसे हुआ, वो रिकॉर्डिंग करना, उसको बनाना, तैयार करना, इट्स कॉल्ड अकाउंटिंग। और टू प्रिपेयर दैट देयर आर रूल्स गाइडलाइंस, those rules guidelines are named as IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. कोई भी assets, liability, income, expenses for an individual, for a company, for a partnership, for any entity, for a trust, for anybody, आप उनको अकाउंट फॉर करोगे, आप उसका एसेट्स लाइबिलिटी पता लगाओगे, आप उसका इनकम पता लगाओगे, वो अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स के थ्रू होगा। और वो अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स ग्लोबली चल रहा है IFRS, अभी से नहीं चल रहा, आज नहीं, फॉर सिंस 1975, तो अभी तो 50 साल हो गया भाई, 50 years ऑलरेडी देयर, नॉट 2013। अभी मैंने इसके पहले क्या बोला था कि द गाइडलाइंस रूल्स आर रेगुलरली चेंजिंग, इट इज नॉट फिक्स्ड। कोई ट्रांजेक्शन को रिकॉर्ड करना, एसेट्स खरीदे हैं, एसेट्स सेल किए हैं, ट्यूशन फीस में, कुछ भी, जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन्स आपका हो रहा है, टू रिकॉर्ड दोस ट्रांजेक्शन्स, रूल्स गाइडलाइंस चेंज होते रहता है। ग्लोबली कॉमन गाइडलाइंस है IFRS, आप इंडिया में हो, यूके में हो, US में हो, कहीं भी हो, IFRS ग्लोबल अकाउंटिंग लैंग्वेज है, ग्लोबल अकाउंटिंग रूल्स गाइडलाइंस है, जिसके बेसिस पे अपने इनकम, अपने एसेट्स, अपने लायबिलिटी, अपने ये सब पता लगा सकते हैं, वी कैन आइडेंटिफाई दैट। IFRS ये बताता है आप कैसे उसको बनाओगे, how to record the transactions, how to record the assets, how to record the liability, how to calculate income, आप उसका अकाउंटिंग कैसे करोगे, ये IFRS बताता है। इंडिया में अपना, इंडिया का खुद का अकाउंटिंग लॉज वगैरह है, उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स। ग्लोबल लेवल पे है IFRS, इंडियन लेवल पे है IND-AS, इंडियन अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड। IND-AS हम लोग इंडिया में फॉलो करते हैं, लेकिन IND-AS और IFRS में बहुत जोर का डिफरेंस नहीं है, वेरी मार्जिनल डिफरेंसेस आर देयर, which I will be covering in the classes, even though IND-AS अपने सिलेबस में नहीं आता है, because we are studying global accounting norms, global guidelines, IFRS, but फिर भी wherever it will be coming कि इंडियन अकाउंटिंग थोड़ा अलग है, I will be discussing always in the class. US का अपना है US GAAP, जनरली एक्सेप्टेड अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स। अब IFRS और US GAAP में बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है, I will say that more than what is the difference between IFRS and Indian accounting standards, US GAAP और IFRS में ज्यादा डिफरेंस है। But US companies also can prepare their financials by following IFRS. Indian company can prepare their financials by following IFRS, because अगर वो लोग IND-AS फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो वो IFRS ही है, बहुत मार्जिनल डिफरेंसेस है। सो ऐसा, आई मीन टू से, वी डोंट नीड टू टेक टेंशन कि वी आर स्टडिंग IFRS, इस कंट्री में रूल अलग है, इस कंट्री का स्टोरी अलग है, वैसे नहीं सोचना है। अब जहां तक बात आता है, जस्ट नाउ वन पर्सन सेड दैट आई स्टडीड जस्ट 2 or 3, I studied when I give CA exams and all that, zero IFRS, ठीक है, I gave the exam for CA in 97-98. So 97-98, when I gave the CA final exam, at that time we studied Indian GAAP. Indian GAAP अलग है, IND-AS अलग है। Indian GAAP is applicable for small companies, for individuals and all that. So I studied Ind GAAP, and Indian GAAP, IFRS or Ind AS was not there at that time. वो तो बाद में आया. फिर उसके बाद जो भी आया धीरे धीरे करके डेली चेंज. वी आर स्टडिंग समथिंग टुडे. आफ्टर 6 months, 1 year, देयर विल बी सम एडिशन. कुछ ना कुछ और चेंजेस. एंड नॉट 6 months, वो जीवन भर चेंज होते रहेगा. यू नीड टू गो ऑन अपग्रेड योरसेल्फ. सो बाय 2013 बहुत सारा IFRS आ चुका था. Whatever IFRS is there, 70% to 80% IFRS, we are already there by 2013. Maybe we have forgotten. हमको पता, मैं कहां बोल रहा हूं, आपको याद करना है. What is IFRS? Rules, guidelines by which we can prepare financials, by which we can calculate income, by which we can show the assets and liabilities, by which we can prepare cash flow statement, by which we can prepare the company's finance, that is statement of changes in equity. उसके बेसिस पे हम रिकॉर्ड्स तैयार करेंगे. वो रूल्स गाइडलाइंस है जिसको फॉलो करके वी विल बी प्रिपेयरिंग द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. IFRS वर्क. सो मैं सारा IFRS अभी थोड़ी ना पढ़ा दूंगा. Then what we will study in 3 months. I'm not discussing IFRS all today because it's impossible. एक एक IFRS, एक एक रूल्स गाइडलाइंस को धीरे धीरे करना पड़ेगा. In 21st century, whatever the rules guidelines are coming, they are named as IFRS. But before 21st century, whatever the guidelines were coming at global level, they were named as International Accounting Standards, IAS. International Accounting Standards, IAS. लेकिन later on in 21st century, from 2001, from 21st century, there were restructuring in the body who is publishing the IFRS or IAS, whatever. And they said that now we will be naming the accounting rules and guidelines as IFRS in place of IAS. Till 2000, it was IAS, International Accounting Standards. And after from the 21st century, they changed the name as IFRS. But there were, till 2000, there were 42 IAS already there. In 2000, not 13, 2000. IAS already, International Accounting Standard 42 were there. And from 21st century, they changed the name. They started publishing IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. Those IFRS are not replacing the IAS. They are the addition. They are the addition. Whatever rules, guidelines already done till 2000, they are still relevant here today. They are still running as IAS. And after 2000, 21st century, in 25 years, whatever the new guidelines published and all that, they are IFRS. Now, some of the IAS which were published up till 2000, in the 21st century, it was realized that they are not relevant. It's totally changed. So some of the IAS vanished. Out of 42, 14 approximately vanished. So out of 42, 14 are not there. Around 28 IAS is still relevant and they are still followed in preparing the financial statement. But then from 21st century till today, IFRS 19, further 19 rules has been published. Out of 19, the syllabus presently covering up till 16, IFRS 16 tak. 17, 18, 19 is not yet examined in the exam. And as per the syllabus written in the institute website, is still in the June exam, it is not relevant. 17, 18, 19 already there, but they are not relevant. I mean to say that ye sare IAS 28, because out of 42, 14 gone, and IFRS 16, 28 plus 16 is 44. In total, 44 guidelines are there, which we need to follow to prepare financial statement, to prepare PL account, to prepare balance sheet, to prepare notes to accounts, to prepare cash flow and all that. Somebody will say that, sir, मेरे को ये सब नहीं मालूम है, PL account क्या होता है? भाई आप simply समझिए, PL account profit loss. You have done business for entire year. What is the profit? What is the loss? Balance sheet. What are the assets? What are the liability? बोलेगा, what is the difference between profit loss and assets liability? You are sitting here. Tuition fees given by you to me. So for tuition fees, for me, it is an income. It is not an asset. But with the tuition fee, I purchase this computer, this laptop, this camera. So this is an asset. The assets are going to be there used in the business for many years. So the assets and liabilities are balance sheet, and the income and expenses, salary payment, rent payment, electricity, power, so many expenditures are there. Income and expenditures summary is called profit and loss account, and assets and liability summary is called balance sheet. What is cash flow? If I will say that somebody joined the classes but have not yet paid the entire payment, have done partial payment, so the balance payment is still due. The amount which is still due is not yet received. But my income will be total. Suppose the tuition fees is 50,000. A student has paid 25,000. I will consider income 50,000, not 25. But the cash flow is only 25,000. Money received from the student is only 25. For calculating income, profit, the income is 50,000 tuition fees, but the cash flow is only 25,000. So accounting involved preparation of cash flow also. Then when you are preparing accounts is not science. For recording the same transactions, there are options, there are different cases are given. You can follow one of the case, I can follow one of the case, some another can follow one of the case. They are not fixed. There are different options given. Anybody can follow any of the option given, because accounts is not science. It is not science. It is a permutation combination. It is different possibilities of recording a same type of transactions, and any of the possibility we need to follow. अलग-अलग possibility follow करने से the results will be different. Income will be different. Assets, liability will be different. सब अलग-अलग होगा. So when you prepare your accounts, you need to disclose how you prepared, what policy you have followed, what out of the different options, which option you have followed to prepare your books of accounts, to prepare your PL account balance sheet. That disclosure, that explanation is called notes to accounts. If notes to accounts is not there, even I cannot understand the financials of the company. Notes to accounts is must to understand the financials of the company. So the components of the financial statement, PL account, balance sheet, cash flow, notes to accounts, statements of changes in equity, means owner's money. In a company, shareholders' money. In an individual proprietorship business, individual money. Owner's money is called equity. That is, what is the owner's money in the business? Who are the owners of the business? What is their money in the business? These are the components. How they will be prepared, how the transactions will be recorded. It is written in 28 IS and 16 IFRS. That is in total. इतना IS IFRS में ये सारा लिखा हुआ है, सारा बताया हुआ है, different options है, alternatives है. हम लोग को उनको follow करके कंपनी का financials को तैयार करना है. We need to make ready the financials of the organization. That is called IFRS. So मैं अपने उसी example, somebody was saying something, I stopped, sorry. Somebody was saying something. Unmute किए थे आप. So let's proceed. My same example which I was saying, कि you are for an IT company, finance manager, recently appointed. Your primary risk, the company is a multinational company. They have operations in 50 plus countries. Import, export, branches, this, that, so many operations are there. Your primary responsibility as a finance manager is to help in the preparation of the financial statement by following IFRS. Help the board members, senior managers in taking long-term strategic decisions and manage the risk in the business. This is actually the job of the finance manager in any company. In CIMA case study, the student will become finance manager in the exam. आप एक्चुअली हैं कि नहीं मतलब नहीं है, एग्जाम में तो आपको यही बोला जा रहा है. अभी मैं यहां पर फॉर द टाइम बीइंग फॉर मंडे वेडनेसडे क्लासेस आई एम फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन वन प्राइमरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, प्रिपरेशन ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड ऑन IFRS. मैं उसकी बात कर रहा हूं. तो अगर हम लोग बात करें कि फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाने में हम लोग को हेल्प करना है, वी नीड टू हेल्प द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ये हेल्प हम लोग कैसे करेंगे, इसमें थोड़ा सा हम लोग IFRS को और डिटेल में ले जा रहे हैं. थोड़ा सा सपोज सिंस इट इज अ मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी, they have started business in a new country. They purchase some property, they purchase some assets, they purchase some software, they purchase some assets to do the business in the other country. Those assets are of two categories, tangible, intangible. Tangible means property, plant, machinery, equipment and all that. Intangible, software. Intangible, you are acquiring an organization and you are paying more than the assets of the organization, which can be said as goodwill. Whenever you acquire a business and you pay more than the assets of the good business, then it is called intangible assets, goodwill. Software is also an intangible assets. So the company is acquiring different types of assets. How the assets will be accounted for, how the assets will be depreciated, how the assets will be amortized, how the assets, whether the assets need to be recorded at cost or they can be recorded at a different value. For recording the intangible assets, what are the principles? When we can record an intangible assets, आपको ये आना पड़ेगा. If you don't know this, that means you can't help the organization in preparing their financial statement. आप कैसे बनवाने में हेल्प करोगे? और आप अगर फाइनेंस मैनेजर हो, फाइनेंस फील्ड से हो, इसका मतलब दुनिया ये मानती है you are the champ of accounting. Whether you are a management accountant CIMA, whether you are an ACCA, whether you are a CA, आप अगर फाइनेंस मैनेजर कोई कंपनी में बनते हो, बिकॉज फाइनेंस मैनेजर बनने के लिए क्वालिफिकेशन स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है कि फॉर बिकमिंग अ फाइनेंस मैनेजर यू नीड टू बी अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ओनली. यू कैन बी मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटेंट, यू कैन बी अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, यू कैन बी एन MBA, कुछ भी हो सकता है सर. लेकिन इफ यू आर बिकमिंग अ फाइनेंस मैनेजर, आपका दिमाग में ये होना चाहिए कि रिलेटिंग टू फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट प्रिपरेशन कोई भी प्रॉब्लम्स वगैरह आएगी, आप उसको हेल्प कर पाएंगे. यू विल बी एबल टू हेल्प द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड देन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विल बी एबल टू प्रिपेयर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. So the primary responsibility, the first responsibility is to help the organization to prepare financials based on IFRS. So IFRS में पहला चीज आया assets accounting. Assets accounting, there are many IFRS. IAS 16, the old one, is still relevant. IFRS 16, there is a new one relating to leasing. There is, you can say, old one, IAS 40, investment property, government grants, IAS 23, borrowing cost. कोई बोलेगा सर ये सब मेरे को समझ में नहीं है, मैं कहां समझा रहा हूं. I am just naming कि 28 IAS and 16 IFRS. In total there are 44. 44 में से asset accounting से related there are 10 IAS IFRS. Out of 44, 10 is becoming how much? 10 divided by 44, around 25%. 25% of the rules, guidelines, whatever we need to study is on assets accounting. वो assets accounting से related है. Whatever I am saying, or are already written here. You don't need to take tension. Whatever I am saying, all are written here. कि you are the global tech company का finance manager है. Operations 30+ countries में मैंने 50 बोल दिया. Your primary responsibility is preparing the financials based on IFRS, strategic decision making and managing the financial risk. To introduce the syllabus, the first point, that is your role as a finance manager require a strong understanding of IFRS concepts. काहे को स्ट्रॉन्ग अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए? पहला पॉइंट, IFRS on non-current assets, property, plant, equipment, intangible assets. So your company is acquiring assets of $500 million somewhere. How to account for? How they will be depreciated? How they will be amortized? Whether they need to be revalued, or you can record at cost. Many things are there, man. For intangible assets, you are acquiring another organization paying more than the value. You are acquiring software. How they will be accounted for? दिस इज नॉट द एंड, बिकॉज ये सब पढ़ने में टाइम लगेगा। मैं तो ऐसे ही बात कर रहा हूं कि आपके सिलेबस में IAS IFRS है, चाहे सीमा है, चाहे IFRS है, चाहे ACC SBL है, कोई भी कोर्स आप कर रहे हैं, सबको पढ़ना यही है। एवरीबडी नीड टू स्टडी द IFRS. दिस इज वन एरिया ऑफ IFRS which is relating to assets. The second area of IFRS which is relating to provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. What is that? Suppose with a customer or with a supplier, fight, court case is going on. With a supplier, the case is going on. He has not met the obligations. So you're fighting a case. With a customer, the court case, बड़ा कंपनी में हजारों केस चलते रहते हैं सर. So relating to that case, how you will account for if you are suffering any loss, or if you may be suffering any loss. If you will be suffering any loss, whether you can record now or you will record later. Relating to that, what you will record in the notes to accounts. अब कैसे उसको लिखोगे, कैसे अकाउंट फॉर करोगे, कैसे समझोगे? बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्शंस हो रहा है, कोर्ट में केस चल रहा है, हाजिरी हो रहा है, आपके पैसे जा रहे हैं, लॉयर को दे रहे हैं, आपको नुकसान हो सकता है, फायदा कुछ हो सकता है. दैट इज प्रोविजंस. प्रोविजंस मीन्स समथिंग, देयर इज an outflow, but we don't know the exact amount of the outflow. We don't know what will be the court case decision. We don't know how much we need to pay to the supplier or to the customer, or we don't need to pay anything that we don't know the exact amount. Even we don't know. Even we don't know whether actually we need to pay or not. Contingency means what? You don't know how much amount you need to pay, whether you need to pay, whether you don't need to pay, whether you are going to get something or you will receive or not. It's very subjective. But then if the subjectivity is there, don't we need to record it? Don't we need to record it in a proper way? तो आप वो प्रॉपरली रिकॉर्ड कैसे करोगे? ऐसे ही मैंने एक एग्जांपल लिख दिया कि देयर इज अ लीगल क्लेम ऑफ 10 million गोइंग ऑन, वेदर वी नीड टू रिकॉर्ड दिस एज एन एक्सपेंस और वेदर वी जस्ट नीड टू फॉलो द रूल्स, गाइडलाइंस, नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स. आपको समझना होगा, बिकॉज बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों में कोर्ट केसेस ये सब लगे रहते हैं, विथ इनकम टैक्स, विथ सेल्स टैक्स, विथ कस्टमर्स, विथ सप्लायर्स, विथ एनीबडी. किसी के साथ भी कोई झगड़ा, कोर्ट केस चल रहा है, हाउ यू विल अकाउंट फॉर? Then comes, as I said, IFRS 16, which is asset accounting only. I have taken asset not on ownership basis, on rental basis. Any airline company, Indigo Airlines or any company, they are using flights on lease basis. The flights ownership is not there. 90% of the flights are on rental basis. So whether you can record that assets in the balance sheet or not, if you record at what value, because it is not ownership. Rules, guidelines are there. How we can record those assets at what value, whether we cannot record accounting. Then you are acquiring another organization, you are paying more than their assets value. That is treated as goodwill. How you will account for the combined entity, how you will record the assets liability together. If you are paying more than the assets value of the other organization, then that is treated as goodwill. But that goodwill will destroy its value. There is a decrease in the value of goodwill, which is called impairment. How to account for those impairment? This is very important part for all the three courses. In ACCA SBL exam, the business combination, you will get at least 30 marks question. In IFRS exam, at least 25 marks question. In CIMA exam, out of management case study, at least 15 to 20 marks question. Business combination. One company taking over another company, then how the combined entity accounts will be prepared. What are the assets acquired, what consideration given, whether it is given more or less, whether it is goodwill, how to account for the goodwill, how to impair the goodwill. All these things the accountant, the finance manager need to know. If he don't know, he cannot help in the preparation of the financial statement. Then this is a very, interesting and very challenging area. A recording of the financial instruments. The company issue debentures, bonds, they are redeemable, irredeemable, they are convertible, non-convertible. The preference shares the company has issued, the preference shares are convertible, non-convertible. So many things are there. How to account for? How to account for the assets liability relating to financial instruments. The company has invested in some other company shares, debentures, bonds, government securities, how they will be accounted for. What value will be recorded in the books? How the income and expenditures relating to that will be accounted for? That is financial instruments accounting. Different IS, all are, you can see, IFRS, and one IS is still there. Even IS 32 has reduced it to a great extent, but still it is there. Just now I said that you have given me tuition fees. That's the revenue. But some of the student has not paid the entire fees. So how I will record the revenue? Whether I should record the revenue which I received only, or whether I should record the revenue which I have not yet received also. Just that I have written an example here. Why does Netflix recognize the revenue differently from Amazon? When the Netflix, you are suppose having a subscription of Netflix in your TV, in your mobile phone, and you are paying say 200 rupees per month, monthly, or maybe annual subscription you are paying, or you are paying annual subscription for Amazon Prime. उनका भी है, प्लेटफॉर्म है. दोनों जन का अकाउंटिंग अलग अलग है. For them it is, for me tuition fees is an income. For Netflix and Amazon, the subscription received from the client is an income. But दोनों जन का अकाउंटिंग अलग है. Because Netflix has only one business, but Amazon has different business. Amazon प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां से आप प्रोडक्ट वगैरह खरीदते हो. Amazon है प्राइम जहां से आप OTT प्लेटफॉर्म को सब्सक्राइब करते हो. और Amazon का क्लाउड सॉफ्टवेयर भी है जहां पर आप अपना डेटा वगैरह सेव करते हो, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग में जाते हो. AWS, तीनों तरह का बिजनेस है. तो उनके लिए रेवेन्यू रिकॉग्निशन अलग है. तीनों उनका बिजनेस है, तीनों बिजनेस का नेचर अलग है. द रिकॉग्निशन ऑफ इनकम इज डिफरेंट एज कंपेयर टू नेटफ्लिक्स. बोलेगा और डिटेल में बात करेंगे सर, मैं थोड़ी ना कुछ पढ़ा दिया. आई एम इंट्रोड्यूसिंग द सिलेबस because you have tension that it is CIMA class, it is ACCA class, it is IFRS class, it is accounts class, it is not any course class. अकाउंट सीखने हम लोग बैठे हैं. आप ACCA के लिए बैठे हैं, कोई IFRS के लिए बैठा है, कोई सीमा के लिए, कोई CA फाइनल वाला आ जाए, क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार. सब तो सीखना अकाउंट्स ही है ना. कोई कोर्स की बात नहीं हो रही. एक एरिया है कॉमर्स के अंदर अकाउंट्स, हम उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. और सबके सिलेबस में अकाउंट्स है, हम वो अकाउंट साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं. अकाउंटिंग पोर्शन जो कॉमन है वो हम साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं. कोई कोर्स की बात नहीं हो रही कि इट इज सीमा और ACC और दिस डजंट मैटर एट ऑल. देन एथिक्स इन अकाउंटिंग. जैसा मैंने बोला कि फॉर रिकॉर्डिंग द सेम ट्रांजेक्शन देयर आर डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस देयर. विच ऑप्शन इज मोर एथिकल, which option is more suitable for a particular organization. हर ऑप्शन हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए सुटेबल नहीं है. But following an improper way, you can window dress the accounts. You can show a good picture, it is not actually there. You can show a bad picture which is actually not there. That means you are not an ethical accountant. And in all the courses, whether it's CIMA, whether it's ACCA, whether it's IFRS, the ethical principles, ethical preparation of accounts should be there. तो जब आपको सही मालूम होगा सही चीज, देन ओनली यू कैन प्रिपेयर एथिकल प्रिंसिपल्स. इंटीग्रेटेड अकाउंटिंग मीन्स reporting of sustainability, reporting of recycling, reporting of environment protection, reporting of greenhouse emission, reporting of financials, non-financial data, how you have served your clients, how you have served your employees. Accounting change हो रहा है सर, वैसा नहीं. Change हो रहा भी है, हो भी गया और आगे. So relating to that, everybody's syllabus is including integrated reporting, ethical guidelines, window dressing, ECG reporting, environmental, social and government standards that need to be followed. यहां पर कुछ एग्जाम्पल लिखा हुआ उसका. अगर सीमा की स्टडी का आप एग्जाम दे रहे हैं तो ये अकाउंटिंग के अलावा ये सब पार्ट भी आएंगे जो हम ये मंडे वेडनेसडे क्लासेस में बात नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज वो कॉमन एरिया नहीं है. उसके लिए सीमा स्टूडेंट का सेपरेट क्लासेस है, शेड्यूल आपके पास होगा. बोलेगा मेरे पास नहीं है, अभी क्लास के बाद मैं मेल कर दूंगा, टेंशन मत लेना. दिस स्लाइड यू विल बी गेटिंग एज अ मेल, यू डोंट नीड टू राइट एनीथिंग. शांति से चुपचाप खाली सुनिए, समझिए. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू आस्क, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट कुछ लिखना उखना नहीं है, अभी सब लिखा हुआ आपको दिया जा रहा है. एंड इफ यू आस्क समथिंग विच आई फाइंड दैट आई हैव नॉट रिटन, आई विल स्टार्ट राइटिंग हियर. अगर कुछ ऐसा आएगा जो यहां नहीं लिखा हुआ है, मैं लिखूंगा, आप टेंशन मत लीजिए. दिस आई विल बी मेलिंग टू यू ऑल आफ्टर एवरी क्लास. स्लाइड्स, क्लास नोट्स, क्लास स्लाइड्स, अप टिल फर्स्ट क्लास फर्स्ट स्लाइड्स, अप टिल सेकंड क्लास इसी में मैं लिखते जाऊंगा. दिस विल बिकम 500-600 पेजेस with a font size 20. I am using font size 20 so that it is legible in the online class much better way. तो अगर इसको नॉर्मल फॉन्ट साइज 8 to 10 फॉन्ट साइज में लिखेंगे, इट विल बी कमिंग अराउंड 100 पेजेस. It will be coming around 150 pages. But in 20 font size, there will be around 500-600 pages notes, which anything I will be solving in the class in front of you will be there here only. But that when I will solve, that will come here. कुछ मैं प्रिपेयर करके आऊंगा, कुछ मैं क्लास के टाइम पे लिखूंगा. आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है, ये सब आपको क्लास के बाद मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. This is, you can say, when we will study this accounting subject in 3 months, we will study all these things. This is your syllabus. और अगर आपको finance manager बनना है, whether you are a management accountant, whether you are a chartered accountant, whether you are an ACCA, कुछ भी हैं आप, आपको ये बहुत अच्छे से आना चाहिए. सिलेबस की बात नहीं हो रही, किसका क्या सिलेबस है, सब में है. But if you don't know this, then you cannot do taxation work, you cannot do auditing work, you cannot do accounting work, you cannot help the board members in taking strategic decisions, you cannot help the organization to grow. आपके जैसे हम लोग का आदमी को अकाउंट्स खून में आना पड़ेगा. विद द ब्लड द अकाउंट शुड बी कमिंग, कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव नहीं. तो इन सीमा देयर आर मेनी स्टूडेंट्स हु आर फ्रॉम मैनेजमेंट बैकग्राउंड, उनका अकाउंटिंग ठीक से पढ़ा हुआ नहीं. फॉर दैट रीजन आपको इस क्लास में बुलाया गया है कि आप अकाउंटिंग अच्छे से करिए, अदरवाइज इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट टू पास मैनेजमेंट की स्टडी एग्जाम. और जहां तक ACCA एंड IFRS स्टूडेंट है, उनका तो सिलेबस ही पूरा अकाउंटिंग फुल, सबका कॉमन सिलेबस है. कोई ऐसे सीमा ACCA IFRS की बात नहीं हो रही, सबको बुलाया गया है पर्पस से. तो आप ये टेंशन मत लीजिए ये मेरी क्लास है कि नहीं. भाई आपको वो नहीं पढ़ाएंगे जो आपके लिए नहीं है. This accounting class will always be there. Monday 7 a.m. in the morning and Wednesday evening 8 p.m. This timing is not going to change on the request of any student because all other timings are booked for different batches. So वो possible ही नहीं है. And the same time I am running for 10 years plus. इसी टाइम पे मैं ये क्लासेस लेता हूं. Either you need to attend these classes live, whether you attend live or not, आपने किया है तो भी क्लास रिकॉर्डिंग आपको सॉफ्टवेयर में अपने आप मिल जाएगा. This first class I will upload on YouTube. You can see from YouTube, but from the subsequent classes, it will be there in the software. You can see the recording as per your convenience anytime. For 3 months, I will be taking approximately 25 classes of around 3 hours each. The evening class, Wednesday evening class, maybe 3.5 hours sometimes, but the morning class will never be greater than 3 hours. Sometime we are solving mock papers at the time of exam. Then that class can be lengthy. Maybe I will be taking 4-5 hours class I generally take. Then whenever The syllabus is complete. You are on the verge of giving exam, then taking mock test, giving you a question paper. You will submit the answers and I will be checking those answers, giving you the feedback. That is also part of the training hours. Only the class training is not the training hours. Other parts are also. So you can say that I will involve myself with all of you in explaining the concepts in everything for around 90 to 100 hours. You take 100 hours in coming 3 months, along with the checking of your mock papers and everything. The self-study of yours require 100 hours. That is maximum. Whether you are a person who don't know any accounting or whether you are a person already a chartered accounting working in the industry for 10 plus years. बात बराबर है सर, कोई difference नहीं है. Anybody don't need to study more than 200 hours along with the classes. So total it is 200 hours. And approximately we have 90 days for the exams. CIMA का exam पहले है, but ACC IFRS exam is slightly late. CIMA को ये बैच में रहना है by around May first week, 5th of May. उसके बाद नहीं आना इस बैच में. But the other ACC IFRS student continue this till the end of May by around 1st or 2nd of June. ठीक है? तो for CIMA students, out of this 200 hours, you reduce some of the hours. But for ACC and IFRS student, it is around 200 hours in 90 days. That means per day, 2 hours. Some day 2, slightly thoda zyada. Even though you are a below average student, according to you, not according to me, because I don't consider below average. The total study is 200 hours in 90 days, which is easily manageable. Because most of the students, when they join, they say, sir, I am working professional. Sir, मेरा ऑफिस रहता है. तो सर सबका ऑफिस है यहाँ पर, किसी से भी पूछ लीजिए पूरे क्लास में. Everybody is 99% working professional. तो सबका ऑफिस है, तो फिर कोई भी एग्जाम देंगे नहीं, पढ़ेंगे नहीं. You have to take out 2 hours daily. You can't study just on the day of exam 20 hours. Not allowed, sir. हर दिन आप रेगुलरली 2 घंटे पढ़ेंगे तो ही काम बनेगा. अदरवाइज आप कोई हाल में एग्जाम ना तो दोगे और ना पास होगे. If you want to pass the exam, you need to study regularly 2 hours. 2 days when I'm taking class, no self-study. 5 days, whatever I have taught in the class, that you need to do self-study. अलग से और कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है. Whatever I'm teaching in the class, that you need to study. What? Suppose today I'm taking a class of 3 hours. You are understanding everything. You have asked something. I have explained that. आपका कोई डाउट नहीं. फिर भी मैं जो भी बोल रहा हूं, मेरा 25-30 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है. ये हजारों बार पढ़ा है. आज भी आपके लिए पढ़ने के लिए I have studied all these things, made the notes. पढ़ के बनाया ना सर, ऐसे थोड़ी ना. यानी कि इतने साल से पढ़ने के बाद भी still I am making the notes. Still I am studying. You understand? That means there is no substitute for this. So similarly, even though you are in the live class, बहुत बढ़िया है, आपको इसका रिकॉर्डिंग करना जरूरी है. 80% स्टूडेंट की बात सुनते नहीं है. Maybe there are chartered accountants in the class. They feel they are very knowledgeable in accounts. I am not questioning their knowledge. But आपका knowledge मेरे से तो ज्यादा नहीं है ना, मेरे जितना experience नहीं है. Not that कि मेरा brain ज्यादा है, experience मेरे पास ज्यादा है, आपसे ज्यादा है. तो मैं जब पढ़ रहा हूं तो आपको कौन सा छाप लगा है सर? So it is no excuse, no excuse. You have to do the recordings of this class after the class. Recording करना जरूरी है with a speed. Make the video speed 1.5, 1.8. Exclude these things which I am discussing general. उसको वीडियो में हटा दीजिए. You can complete the recordings in 1.5 hours easily. Once you complete the recording, do the same thing on your own in Word file, Excel file, not pen and paper. Word और Excel file में आप उन्हीं चीज को solve करेंगे. If I have discussed one question, you write the answer of that question after doing the recording. Maybe मैंने भी आंसर लिखा होगा, फिर भी आप लिखिए, आपको लिखना होगा. That means I generally say that 1.5 to 2 hours, whatever you have done in the live class, done in the recording, you need to study. That same thing again आपको उसको लिखकर बनाना होगा. नहीं तो प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे, होएगा नहीं. Around 1.5 hours to 2 hours, you need to solve extra question which we have not solved in the class on your own. Regularly we will be studying something. आपको कुछ ना कुछ खुद से एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना होएगा. The question which I have given as homework, I said ये सब कर लेना. You will solve that. You will solve on your own. Don't see the solution. After solving, you see the solution. Analyze your comfort level. And around 1 hour, you will make notes on your entire understanding. The notes preparation by you can be in English, can be in Urdu, can be in Farsi, can be in Hindi, any language. Because that is not for anybody else. That is for you. You are making notes for you, for yourself. आपको उसको जो लैंग्वेज में बनाना है बनाएंगे. बहुत सारा वीडियो मेरा स्टूडेंट का, स्टूडेंट खुद ही बोल रहे हैं सर मैं अपना नोट्स अपने लैंग्वेज में बनाता था. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग नोट्स इन इंग्लिश. I was making in Urdu. I was making in this language. भैया जो लैंग्वेज हो, that is not to be, that is for yourself. Till the time you don't make your own notes, you will never become perfect. कभी नहीं perfect बन पाएंगे. अपना notes माने, I mean to say, suppose you are liking this example. आपको इसको वह याद रखना है. आप इसको यहां से कॉपी करके अपने नोट्स में डाल दी. You will make a word file like this for your own notes. Maybe relating to this you want to write something in your own word. इसके नीचे अपने लैंग्वेज में उसको लिखिए. Then you have solved a question. You are liking the question very well. You want to revise that question later. तो आप क्वेश्चन को कॉपी कर दीजिए, अपना आंसर लिख लीजिए, मॉडल आंसर वहां कॉपी कर लीजिए. Whatever notation you need to give, write that. That means when the chapter is finished, you have done the live class, you have done the recording, you have done the same solution, you have done extra question, and you have made your notes ready. क्या बाद में वापस पढ़ना है, which question you need to revise. जीवन में, not only in this batch, in your next 20 years, 30-year life, you will refer that only whenever you want to revise. So at the time of exam, you don't need to ask क्या पढ़े सर, सर मैं ये सब पढ़ लिए. जब आप ये बोल रहे क्या पढ़े, इसका मतलब your preparation is very bad. One time you are studying everything, but next time when you study, you need to study only with your notes. आज भी मेरे को याद है when I gave CA final exam, for every chapter in a subject, like accounts, there are 20 chapters. For every chapter, there was notes separately ready. And when I was going in the exam, I have my own notes ready. बस उसी को पढ़ना है, उसी में जो भी क्वेश्चन है देखना है, उसी में राइट अप. मेरे को और कोई बुक्स नहीं खोलना है. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रिपरेशन. सो योर सेल्फ स्टडी, 1.5 hour recording, 1.5 hour solving the same question, 1.5 to 2 hour extra question, and making notes around 1 hour, 1.5 hour. सबको जोड़ेंगे तो around 7 to 8 hours. 6 hour class, 8 hour self study. In a week, 15 hour study. दिमाग ज्यादा है, टाइम ज्यादा है तो भी, टाइम कम है तो भी. If you have less time, then also. Maybe on weekdays you are studying 1 hour, half an hour, 1.5 hour. Whatever backlog is there need to be covered in weekend. Lekin in a week, you should not be lagging behind in place of my classes. I am in the 4th class, 5th class, I am in the 4th topic. You are still running the first topic. That is not allowed. That is not possible. Whatever you study, whatever your doubts are there, whether you are there in the live class or not, you make a word file, paste your question, paste your own answer, paste the institute answer, write what do you want to ask. We will discuss that in the class. You don't need to remind, because regularly every week we will be meeting. So whether you are there in the class or not, you are doing purely recording only. No problem, man. आप अपना डाउट्स भेजिए, हम लोग क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे. आप अगर इसको फॉलो करेंगे, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल योर कॉन्फिडेंस विल बी वेरी हाई, योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल विल बी वेरी हाई. Never you will say that I will not give exam. Never it will be coming in your mind, I may not pass the exam. Never it will happen. This is I am saying with my experience. Whatever bad things, whatever wrong things I have done in life, उसके बेसिस पे मैं बता रहा हूं. For study, the most important thing is referring these notes which I am using in the class. Other than this, because for question preparation, extra questions and other things, so ACCA SBR, okay. Even for CIMA students also, this I will mail to all of you, the Google Drive link. इसके अंदर बहुत सारा मटेरियल है. You just need to focus 24-25 material. SBR study text, SBR exam kit. Study text is writing the concepts, detail along with the questions. But exam kit is only the question, answer, only that. There is old material is also there. 23, 22 ये सब का भी आप उसको इग्नोर करिए. मैंने डिलीट नहीं किया है because somebody may be doing the previous batch classes, so they will be using the previous. लेकिन अभी ये एकदम recent notes है. SBR study text, SBR exam kit, you will refer these two. मैं आपके सामने इसी को डाउनलोड कर रहा हूं. I am downloading this also. हम भी यही यूज करेंगे क्लास में और कुछ नहीं यूज करेंगे. And there is one pocket notes also, that all the three things are downloaded. Okay. Pocket notes are not properly downloaded. 1 second. Pocket notes also. But then exam kit is where? Okay, sorry. There is no virus in this. It is just that why Google is taking like this. Don't know यार. कोई वायरस नहीं है सर. So these are the three, you can say, institute or publisher notes. This is my notes, which is I am already using in the class. These are the things we should be using. But somebody will say that if I will use this material, that you can use whatever you like, sir. My advice is this, but there is no compulsion on you, because referring so many books just create pressure in the mind. You need to decide in the beginning only how you will study, what you will study, from which material you will study. If you are not structured, you will never achieve success. We will be covering one by one the topic wise study, the way the syllabus is introduced. जैसे जैसे syllabus introduce किया वैसे ही हम लोग पढ़ने वाले हैं. And by that, after the studying for 3 months, we assume that we will become the perfect person to help the organization in preparing their financial statement. Or you can say that when the financial statement will be given to us, we will be the perfect person to analyze the financials, to analyze the company's strength and weakness based on the financials, to help anybody that whether they should invest in the company or not, whether they should give loan to the company or not, whether they should supply goods to the company or not. We will be in a position to help anybody to take the correct financial decisions. हम लोग ये उसको हेल्प कर पाएंगे. अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट्स रिलेटिंग टू इंस्टीट्यूट सीमा एसी से आपको इंस्टीट्यूट को मेल डालना है, साथ में सीसी हम लोग को कर देंगे. then in that case, we will on your behalf communicate with the institute and will try to solve your problem very fast. So this is ACCA Institute mail ID. CIMA student will give mail to the CIMA Institute along with CC to us, because for both the institute, we are the learning partner directly connected with them for more than 15 plus years. So we can help you to solve your problems relating to the institute faster. लेकिन मेरे को कोई मैसेज नहीं करना है. 20 आदमी लोग काम कर रहे हैं. आपका सारा प्रॉब्लम्स को दूर करने के लिए वो लोग को मालूम है सब क्या करना है. मेरे को आपको कनेक्ट करना है ओनली फॉर सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड डाउट्स. If you are not able to see the recordings, materials are not there, anything, you just mail, my team will help during office hours. They are not working for 24 hours in a day. ऑफिस आवर्स में आपका प्रॉब्लम दूर हो जाएगा, सब नंबर्स वगैरह लिखा हुआ है, बट फोन करने की जरूरत नहीं. You just mail, my team will help you. Believe me, they are very efficient. हर समय उनके पीछे लगे रहते हैं, तो आपको कोई टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं. Then as far as exam is concerned, as I said, the exam for ACCA and IFRS students will be around June 5th to 10th June. Exam form need to be filled up by maximum April end. If you want to give exam in June, you need to fill up the exam form by April end. बोलेगा अभी भर सकते हैं, अभी भी भर सकते हैं. You can fill up the exam form now also. But there are many students who have given the other subjects exam last week. Their results will be coming around 15th of April, between 15th to 20th. So they also need to book the exam and all that. So how they will book? तो इसीलिए टाइम है अप्रैल एंड तक. आप अभी भी बुक कर सकते हैं. बाद में आई विल रिमाइंड अराउंड मिड ऑफ अप्रैल की एग्जाम फॉर्म भरना है, लेट हो जाएगा. आई विल रिमाइंड. फॉर CIMA स्टूडेंट्स, द एग्जाम इज अराउंड मिड ऑफ May, around 15th or 20th of May. For them also, the exam form need to be filled up by April end. If you don't fill up the exam form, you cannot give the exam. So for CIMA students also, I will remind when the exam form, but anybody can fill up the exam form now also. If you are a registered student, you have already the registration number of the institute, you can fill the exam form now also. For CIMA student, before filling the exam form, you need to complete the assignments. The assignments are multiple choice questions on the institute platform. Those assignments are not an exam. If you do wrong, you can solve the same assignment again. So while solving the assignment, CIMA students should not study anything. जय माता दी अल्लाह करके आंसर सेलेक्ट करना है, गलत होगा फिर से सॉल्व कर देना है. Once you register with the institute, they will give you the assignments on the platform. You need to solve it. So don't delay that, otherwise आपको एग्जाम देने मिलेगा ही नहीं. So if you delay in registering with the CIMA Institute, assignment, solution and all that will take time. So in that case आप एग्जाम दे ही नहीं पाओगे. So anybody ask that, sir मेरे को CIMA Institute के साथ register कब करना है? तुरंत, as fast as possible, because the time is running. When you register, they will give you assignments. You need, it will take 5-7 days to solve. Along with that, you started the study, तब तो होएगा ना. If you are not structured in your life, nothing will happen. आपको क्लासेस नहीं करनी है लाइव. You want to go with the recordings. है प्रीवियस बैच का करिए ना, लेकिन रिकॉर्डिंग भी इसी बैच का करिए. That is my advice. Why I am again live? If you do the recordings of the previous batch, it's upon you. But you should be doing the recordings of this batch only. Try to attend the live classes always, because it is not in the office hours. आप मैनेज कर सकते हो. खाली फर्स्ट क्लास नहीं, बाद में सारी क्लासेस में आइए, ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा, ज्यादा मजा आएगा. You will enjoy the study as compared to doing recordings, because for that reason I am live. This is, you can see the first part. The second part is we need to start our study. What is the syllabus? Why we are here together? Exam pattern. Acha, 1 second. For ACCA student, in the exam there are 2 parts. The first part is 50 marks question, and the second part is 25 2 question. First part 50 marks question, group accounting and some other integrated reporting, ethics and all that. And the balance 25 which area? Nobody can say. So it's 3 questions, 50 marks, 25 marks, 25 marks. To pass, a student need to score 50 out of 100. Full computer-based exam. If it is theory, you need to write in the Word file. If it is numerical, you need to write in the Excel file. For IFRS student, each question of 25 marks, 4 questions. First question, group accounting, and then the 3 questions from any other part of the syllabus. And IFRS student also need to score 50 out of 100 to pass the exam. Both the exams are 3 hours each. For CIMA student, the exam is based on a case study. The case study will be released by end of March. Presently, we don't have the case study. Based on that case study, they will be giving in the exam 4 questions. Each question will be of 45 minutes each. So you can see that each question answer you need to write in the exam in 45 minutes, reading, writing, everything. 4 questions, 3 hours exam, 150 marks, passing marks is 80. It is not 50%, slightly greater than 50%. For CIMA student, they will not be asking you to prepare PL account balance sheet. They will be asking you adjustments of some item. That this has happened, how it should be accounted for. Somebody saying that it can be accounted for like this. Whether it can be accounted for like this or something else to be done. For ACC and IFRS, most of the questions are like CIMA only. They are not asking prepare PL balance sheet. They are asking how this transaction will be accounted for. What should be the correct treatment? In numericals, in theory. In CIMA, numericals will be less, more and more theoretical explanation. But in ACC and IFRS, along with numericals, theory, numericals, both are mixed. So all the 3 exams are different paper setting. For CIMA, there will be separate classes based on case study when the case study will be released. Presently, there is no case study, so we can't start that. CIMA student can do the previous batch, 1 or 2 case study classes. They will feel much better. For the time being, focus on the accounting area. When the case study will come, we will start the case study classes also as per the schedule. Every term for CIMA, the case study is released like this only. So it is 40, 45, 50 days you get for case study preparation. Not that anybody is getting 6 months. And there are more than 80% students passing the exam in one go by giving the case study exam. So that is not a problem. Just that you need to study regularly 2 hours that I said. So this is, you can say in nutshell, the syllabus introduction, the question pattern, the study material, how we are going to study, when we are going to study, how we are going to complete the syllabus and everything, whatever comes in my mind. If you find any problem, how you can resolve your issues with the institute, with us and everything. If anybody has anything to ask, please ask now.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
As you have said, जो IFRS के पेपर वो 25 marks each है, तो वो पेपर बेस्ड है और like कंप्यूटर बेस्ड है?
सारे एग्जाम कंप्यूटर बेस्ड last 10 years से sir.
Okay,
All
sir.
exams are computer based, no pen and paper based exam. For that reason, students should not study pen and paper based. If you have taken printout of a material or anything, throw out of the window. You need to think that no pen and paper is there in my life. Study on screen. Make your notes in Word files, all the question in Excel, read the question on screen, develop your habit. You are a working professional, I know, with your language. So are you working in an organization on pen and paper or on the screen?
Sir, on screen.
So bus, exam is on the screen, sir.
Okay, sir.
No pen, paper, sir. Yes, Hujaifa.
I have some question.
Yeah.
My question is, like you said earlier in your classes, like the IFRS 17, 18, and 19, it is not there in the syllabus. Okay.
Still now not there, sir.
But when we are doing a yeah, for the June 25 exams. But when we are doing professional courses, like we are preparing for the real world, and there are some companies in the insurance field, like IFRS 17 is for the insurance ones. So
Yes.
they asking if you have studied or you have a knowledge. So how can we go about this one? Because the reason behind we are doing this course is because we want to get expertise in IFRS, whether it is 17 or all, or whether it's in the exam or not.
Sir,
That was my question.
Presently 17, 18, 19 is there. In future 20, 21, 22 will also come. So when it will come, we need to study. So when I will be taking the class for 17, 18, 19, then I will upload the class freely on YouTube. So you will be able to see that from the YouTube. But till the time it is not becoming a part of the syllabus, we are not taking tension of studying that, sir. When it will become part of the syllabus, then I will teach definitely, sir. Because you need to understand that one thing. Presently, it is 17, 18, 19. Regularly, new IS, IFRS will be go on coming. What is not there, we cannot study. When it will come, we will study. And in that class, you can come, even though you are an old student, there is no problem. If you want to do live, when I will be informing through WhatsApp, through messages and all that, then you need to join. If you miss that, I will upload on YouTube. You can refer that. It will be a free service for the whole world, sir.
Thank you.
ठीक है ना, sir? But till the time it is not in the syllabus, because you understand that along with the accounting, we should study finance, we should study management accounting. So many things are there. How it can be taught everything in the class, sir? Because then to in that case, we require more time, more efforts, more, so many things. I will just request you should all keep yourself in the mute mode. Unless and until you have something to ask in the class. And if you are doing the class along with all the other disturbances, that's the wrong study you are doing. When you are doing recording of my class and all other disturbances are there, you are not studying. You are just wasting your time. So जब आप क्लास कर रहे हैं, एक बार या तो आप एक ही कॉमन प्लेस में है, दूसरे जगह नहीं जा सकते, हैंड्स फ्री है, उसको यूज करिए. या आप सिक्लूडेड प्लेस में आए हैं बिकॉज आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, शाहरुख खान का डांस नहीं चल रहा है, सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड अलॉन्ग विथ अदर्स. यू नीड टू बी सीरियस इन योर स्टडी, सर. यस मिस्टर.
सर, ये जो कोर्स सिलेबस है, लाइक एज यू सेड कि हम लोग मेनली IFRS रीड करेंगे, तो जैसे आपने पहले बताया था IAS भी हैं, तो सर आप उसको भी कवर करेंगे और ओनली IFRS को ही हम लोग मेन अपना रखेंगे टारगेट?
मैंने तो ये बोला कि आपके सिलेबस में IAS और IFRS दोनों हैं. IAS 42 में से 14 गायब हो गया है, 28 है, और IFRS 1 से लेकर 16 सारा पढ़ेंगे सर. सिलेबस में सब है, नहीं तो कैसे? अभी जब मैंने गो थ्रू किया तो अब कितना सारा नंबर्स IAS लिखा हुआ था, देखिए सिलेबस में. ये तो मैंने बोला ही पहले, लेकिन मैंने अभी कोई भी IAS IFRS पढ़ाया नहीं है सर. आई हैव नॉट टॉट बिकॉज इट कैन नॉट बी टॉट इन 5 minutes लाइक दिस. आई हैव जस्ट ओवरव्यू गिवन कि ये डिफरेंट IAS IFRS. यू सी IAS 32, you see in the first IAS 36, you see IAS 16, you see सभी तो लिखा हुआ है. IAS 37 सारा है सर, जितना सिलेबस में है सभी पढ़ाना होएगा ना. हाँ, ये जरूर IFRS 17, 18, 19 till the time it is not in the syllabus, I am not teaching because our focus is on the course to make you pass. Okay.
Okay sir. Okay sir.
I will say that for first 2 months, the focus should not be on giving the exam, passing the exam. For first 2 months should be there in the class, in your attitude, knowledge. And the last 1 month when the exam is coming, your focus should be on passing the exam. ये होना चाहिए पढ़ाई का तरीका. I should be following that and you all should be following that. तो अभी एक बार एग्जाम वगैरह मत सोचिए. अभी we need to understand the concept so that we can work independently in the organization. अभी हम लोग उस पर सोचेंगे ना तो बेटर रहेगा.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I just need to ask, like, if someone cannot join the live classes at all, so is it, are you recommending to go for a recordings or is there any other way out for it? Because I cannot join the live classes, even if I try.
So what is the other option? If you don't join live, then other than recording, what is the other option, sir?
No, like you said, there is no other classes on weekends or something. I thought there would be something on weekends, so maybe I can join. But other than that, like,
if
maybe
you join
I can
on
go.
weekend, I will be teaching on weekend. Believe me, I am teaching for 15 years. जब सैटरडे संडे आता है ना, ऐसे तो मेरा दूसरा बैच चलता है, तो स्टूडेंट और कम आते हैं बिकॉज उनका दूसरा लाइफ में कमिटमेंट है, मैरिड है या कोई और है, फैमिली फंक्शन है, वो और नहीं करता. सर वीकडेज को तो फिर भी जाना है तो उनके कर लेते हैं.
मैं इंडिया में नहीं हूँ. जब आपके 7 बज रहे होंगे, मेरे यहाँ रात को 1:30-2 बज रहे होंगे और मैं सुबह ऑफिस जाना होगा.
एक दिन तो कर सकते होंगे सर.
सर रात को 2 बजे अगर मैं क्लास लूंगा, सुबह 5 बजे तक क्लास लूंगा, तो सुबह ऑफिस कैसे जाऊंगा? वो तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं. और मेरा ऑफिस भी यहाँ से ट्रेवल अराउंड 2 hours है. अभी नया ज्वाइन हुआ है, तो पॉसिबिलिटी है नहीं मेरे पास. मतलब अगर मैं रिकॉर्डिंग या वीकेंड क्लासेस होंगे तो इजी रहेगा मेरे लिए.
नहीं, रिकॉर्डिंग लेकिन अपने लाइव क्लास एक ही चीज को 4 बार कैसे पढ़ाएं सर? सोचिए, हाउ आई विल टीच 4 टाइम्स द सेम थिंग, बोरिंग भी लगेगा। मेरे को भी इंटरेस्ट होने के लिए, इसलिए आई टीच सो मेनी डिफरेंट थिंग्स सो दैट आई एंजॉय। अगर मैं अकाउंट से डेली पढ़ाऊंगा ना सर, माथा खराब हो जाएगा यार, मजा नहीं आएगा। और आपका जो प्रॉब्लम है, मान लीजिए, समझिए कि देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम दुबई, तंजानिया, सऊदी, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट हैं, उनका 2 आवर्स 2.5 आवर का डिफरेंस है। सो इफ आई एम टेकिंग द क्लास इन द मॉर्निंग 7 AM ऑन मंडे, सो उनके लिए भी 5 o'clock है। तो हम लोग जब वेनेसडे को क्लास करते हैं, बहुत बार 12 o'clock हो जाता है सर, 12 o'clock 12:30 चल जाता है। तो वो 12:30 हम लोग भी तो जग रहे हैं, एक दिन जग लेंगे यार, क्या है। मेरा तो आदत हो
सर
गया, मेरे
मेरा
को तो
आपको अभी मैं कैसे बताऊं आपको, मेरा 3 बज रहे होंगे रात को जब आपकी
हाँ,
मंडे की क्लास होगी। और जब अभी जैसे आज क्लास है तो मैं ऑफिस में ही होऊंगा इस टाइम पे, तो
तो करे
क्योंकि
कैसे
9
सर?
to 5 तो ऑफिस ही होता है। तो
हाँ,
ठीक है सर, कोई नहीं, मैं देखता हूँ। मेरा एक और फ्रेंड
माने
था सेम,
रिकॉर्डिंग
हम दो
करना
तीन
होगा, आपके पास एक ही ऑप्शन है, और या उस दिन आप लाइव अपने आप को, क्योंकि जो मॉर्निंग वाला क्लास है उसमें एटलीस्ट आप लाइव आ तो सकते हो यार। ये इवनिंग वाला क्लास में तो आपके लिए लाइव आना मुश्किल है, बिकॉज फ्रॉम द ऑफिस हाउ यू विल अटेंड द क्लास। सोचिए सर, आप सीमा की स्टूडेंट है कि IFRS, कौन से के?
सीमा।
तो सीमा का तो मैंने केस स्टडी क्लास आपके लिए वीकेंड ही रखा है सर, देखिए। मैं वो क्लास,
मैं केस स्टडी के
लेकिन
अलावा
सारी
फर्दर
क्लास
जो
वीकेंड कहाँ से लाऊं सर, दिन में बाद 24 घंटे ही होते हैं, क्या करें।
ठीक है सर,
तो ये
ठीक है,
वाला आपको
कोई
रिकॉर्डिंग करना होगा सर मेरे पास, और लाइव जो कर रहा है उसके बाद भी रिकॉर्डिंग करना है, मैंने ये बोला है अभी। इफ यू आर इन द लाइव देन ऑल्सो यू नीड टू डू रिकॉर्डिंग्स। स्टूडेंट डोंट हियर दिस, they don't
नहीं।
follow this. If you don't do the recording, you cannot understand the concepts. लाइव करेंगे तो भी रिकॉर्डिंग करना होगा, ये तो माने डबल बार करना होगा, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट लाइव, सो यू विल डू नॉर्मल रिकॉर्डिंग इन 3 hours एंड देन यू डू फास्ट पेस रिकॉर्डिंग इन 1.5 hour। उतना करना होगा सर।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू, आई चेक। मेरा भी एक और फ्रेंड भी है, उसको भी ज्वाइन करना था, उससे
हाँ,
कनेक्ट करके बात करता हूँ।
करना
थैंक
पड़ेगा।
यू।
कुछ कर नहीं सकते सर, बिकॉज इतना दुनिया दुनिया के लिए अलग अलग टाइम कैसे अरेंज करें सर, सॉरी।
यस सर,
या
थैंक यू।
ओके, देन एनीबody has anything to ask all
हेलो
these?
सर।
Yes sir।
सर एक क्वेश्चन था मेरा कि जैसे आप बोले कि हम लोगों को आईएफआरएस में एक्सेल में आंसर्स करना है, तो
हाँ,
उसके लिए क्या एडवांस एक्सेल जरूरत है कि बेसिक एक्सेल से हो जाएगा काम?
अगर आप प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में एक्सेल पे काम करते हैं, इफ यू आर वर्किंग, तो आपको एक्सेल में प्रोग्राम बनाना आता है?
नहीं सर।
मेरे को लगता है किसी को भी क्लास में नहीं हो, मे बी समबडी नोइंग आई। हम लोग को एक्सेल में क्या आता है? प्लस माइनस, एक कॉलम से दूसरा कॉलम जोड़ना, डिवाइड करना, माइनस करना, यही तो, बस इतना ही सीखना है सर, नथिंग एल्स। So that you can do fast calculation, you don't need to use calculator. In one column 100, in another column 29. So third column 100 plus 29, 100 minus 29, बस इतना ही करना है सर आपको।
अच्छा, ओके
कोई एक्सेल का हाई फाई नॉलेज नहीं चाहिए, और
ओके
अगर चाहिए भी, हमको ही नहीं आता सर, हम आपको क्या पढ़ाएंगे? आई एम नॉट एक्सेल पर्सन, आई एम वेरी बेसिक नॉलेज, आई मीन एक्सेल प्लस माइनस डिवाइड मल्टीप्लाई, दैट्स ऑल सर। इफ यू प्रिपेयर इन माने इन कॉपी पेन, देन इट फिगर्स इधर उधर हो जाता है, कैलकुलेटर में बार बार कैलकुलेट करना पड़ता है। व्हेन इट इज इन एक्सेल, इट इज फास्ट कैलकुलेशन सर, आपको ही फायदा होएगा। और प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में वी आर डूइंग दैट ओनली, सो द एग्जामिनर इज सेइंग दैट व्हाई नॉट यू फॉलो इन द एग्जाम व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इन प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ। अलग तो नहीं है ना, बिकॉज इफ यू आर वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल, यू आर वर्किंग ऑन एक्सेल रेगुलरली, तो उतना बेसिक नॉलेज चाहिए सर, कोई हाई फाई नॉलेज नहीं।
ओके ओके।
देन anybody else, anything to ask? क्या भाई अमोल जी कुछ पूछना है? अमोल, चाहना, चिन्मय, देवप्रिया, एनीबडी? So we are proceeding. Okay.
No, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now there is a concept of present value finance concept, but this will be requiring in the entire syllabus every time. So in the beginning only we are discussing this concept for 10 minutes. It is not a finance class, accounting class, but थोड़ा सा accounts में बार बार finance आते रहेगा, तो वो एक basic concept अभी समझ लेते हैं। Suppose I have 1 lakh rupees. And this 1 lakh is surplus for next 5 years. I deposited that 1 lakh in the bank. मैंने बैंक में FD कर दिया at the rate of 10%. 10% rate नहीं है, लेकिन एक बार calculation ease के लिए I am saying 10%. I have 1 lakh rupees surplus for 5 years and I have deposited that 1 lakh rupees in the bank at the rate of 10% for 5 years. FD कर दिया मैंने, fixed deposit. So मेरे को 1 lakh के बदले after 5 years how much I will get? It is not 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000 every year. So 10,000 into 5, 50,000. 50,000 nahi hai, sir. Because in finance, we always use compound interest. The first year interest, 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000. So at the end of first year, it will become 1 lakh 10,000. Second year, 1 lakh 10,000 into 10%. Second year, 1 lakh 10,000 into 10%, 11,000. So at the end of second year, it will become 1 lakh 21,000. Third year, 1 lakh 21,000 into 10%, 12,100. So at the end of third year, 1 lakh 21 plus 12,100, it will be becoming 1 lakh 33,100 and blah, blah. In finance, interest के ऊपर interest calculation, which is called compound interest calculation, is always there. If the figure is going to be invested, borrowed for more than a year, so whenever the interest calculation will be done, it will be done by compounding method. Compounding method means interest on interest calculation. Compounding method means interest on interest calculation. Why we are discussing this? Simple. Suppose you are joining our classes and the class fees is 50,000. Akshay is paying 50,000 today and Amol will pay 50,000 in 6 months. Is this logical that I will take from Akshay 50,000 today and I will take from Amol 50,000 in 6 months? Then why not from Akshay also I should be receiving 50,000 in 6 months? क्या भाई, अमोल आपको चलेगा अक्षय जी कि मैं अक्षय जी से पैसे अभी ले रहा हूं और आपसे 6 months में धीरे धीरे लूंगा? आई एम आस्किंग अक्षय एंड अमोल. क्या अमोल जी?
नहीं सर, सेम ही होना चाहिए.
नहीं चलना चाहिए बिकॉज दिस इज अनएथिकल. मेरे को दोनों स्टूडेंट के साथ समान व्यवहार करना होगा. तो हम सीधा सीधी बोलते हैं भाई अगर ईएमआई है, आपको मंथली फीस देना है तो फीस ज्यादा है. इट इज नॉट 50,000, इट विल बी अराउंड 60,000. बोलेगा सर 60,000 तो 10 पर, उसमें इंटरेस्ट रेट मत जोड़िए. बट ये जरूर है कि if somebody will be paying on monthly basis in 6 months, then the fees will not be 50, it will be greater than 50,000. Simple logic क्या है? I want interest in the tuition fees. Because if Akshay will give money today, I can use that money in the business, in investment, and I can make this 50,000, 55, 60,000 in 6 months. So if Amol ji is paying me in 6 months, he need to give me that 55, 60,000. That's the simple rule. इसमें कोई ये नहीं बोल रहे कि चैरिटी वगैरह ये सब बात मत सोचिए. सिंपल बिजनेस तरह से ही होएगा. What I mean to say that, suppose I am purchasing a computer. For the computer, the price today is 1,50,000. If I will pay today, it is 1,50,000. But I am telling to the computer wala, I will be paying you 1,50,000 in 4 years. I am purchasing a property. And I am saying to the property wala, I will be paying you in 4 years. He will not be giving me the property or computer for 150. He will not. He will be charging greater than 1,50,000. Suppose he is charging 1,80,000. Whatever I will pay on monthly, quarterly basis, in 4 years, in place of 150, I need to pay 1,80,000. Today I am purchasing the computer. The value of the computer today is 1,50,000, but I am paying to the supplier in 4 years that I will pay 1,80,000. So today, when I will record the computer in the books, I will record at 1,50,000 or I will record at 1,80,000. When I will record the asset value in the books, in the balance sheet, asset, then whether it will be recorded at 150 or it is recorded at 1,80,000. General knowledge. क्या recording होना चाहिए books में?
150.
Anybody else is thinking that it should be 180? Anybody? किसी को नहीं लगता है? Yes.
180.
180. Why you are thinking that it should be written 180 in the books?
Because my cost is 180, not 150.
But then the value of the asset which you are getting is not 180, it is 150. So you are recording in your balance sheet the asset value 180 which it does not command. So is this logical? You are showing assets to the whole world that I have 1,80,000 ka assets, but you have the assets of only 1,50,000. So is this logical that you will show to the world that the asset value is 1,80,000? You are thinking that your cost is 180. You are thinking that your cost is 180, but the cost of asset is 150. 30,000 is the interest expenditure. What is interest? Suppose I am doing business here. There is a rent. Suppose there is a depreciation of these assets. Suppose the staff are working. There is a salary for those staff. That is not an asset, sir. There is a difference between an asset and an expenditure. The benefit of the expenditure we will exhaust within at the same time. But the assets we are going to use for 4 or 5 years. If I am getting the computer, I will be using for 4 or 5 years. But the interest, the benefit will exhaust in the same year. There is a difference between an asset and an expenditure. So we can see that 1,80,000 is our cost. But in 1,80,000, 1,50,000 is the asset value and 30,000 interest is an expenditure. Expenditure will be deducted in calculating income. But asset will be recorded as an asset. They are not deducted in income. So my value of asset is 150, but I am paying to the supplier 1,80,000. In technical language, we say 1,50,000 each present value, 1,80,000 each future value. Like I said, I have 1 lakh and I am depositing in the bank for 5 years at the rate of 10%. So 1 lakh is the present value. And along with interest, suppose I am getting 1,59,000. Along with interest, I am getting 1,59,000. So 1,59,000 each future value. 1 lakh is the present value and 1,59,000 is the future value. The difference between 1 lakh and 159 is interest. The interest is called value of money. In simple language, dictionary meaning interest means value of money. Value of money due to inflation, due to many factors. But that is value of money. If you invest, you will get interest. If you will borrow, you need to pay interest. That's the whole world rule. But when we record the transaction today, we can't record 180 today because the value of the transaction today is 1,50,000. So if in the question they have given you 1,80,000, you need to find out 1,50,000 to record the books of accounts. If they have given you future value, you need to find out the present value to record the transaction. From 1,80,000, you need to deduct the interest 30,000. I am giving the figure of 30,000. But in the question, it will not be given like this. In the practical life, it will not be like this. When I said 1 lakh is becoming 1,59,000 after 5 years at the rate of 10%. Every year 10%, 10%, 10% added, it becomes, this 159 is not the correct figure. Hypothetically, I am saying. Correct figure we can calculate from the calculator or Excel. Along with 10%, what will be the value? But एक बार समझने के लिए 1 lakh is the value today, and along with interest at the rate of 10% compounding every year, then at the end of 5th year, it is 1,59,000. 1 lakh by 1,59,000. What is the value? In the calculator, anybody can calculate. If you are having calculator in front of you, 1 lakh divided by 1,59,000. What is the value? 1 lakh divided by 1,59,000. What is the value? Anybody?
Sir, it is 0.62.
In 2 decimal places, it is coming 0.62. If you calculate in 3 decimal places, it will be coming more. But मान ली 0.62 को बोलते हैं in finance language present value factor. Present value interest factor. Present value interest factor is based on 2 things. One is the interest rate, one is the period. In my example, the interest rate is 10% and the period is 5 years. In my example, the interest rate is 10% and the period is 5 years. If $1 after 5 years, $1 after 5 years, you deduct from that $1, 5-year interest at the rate of 10%, then the value today will be 0.62. $1 value after 5 years, value today is 0.62. In the exam questions, 0.62 will be given to you. The present value factor at the rate of 10% for 5 years, value will be given to you 0.62. So $1 value is 0.62. Then what is the value of 1,59,000? 1,59,000 into 0.62. When you record the transaction in the books, they will be recorded at present value. They cannot be recorded at 5 year later value. So you are recording 1,59,000 ke badle 1 lakh. 1,59,000 into, now don't use the calculator 1,59,000 into 0.62 because I said 1,59,000 is not the correct figure. Hypothetically, I am saying. लेकिन अगर करेक्ट फिगर निकालेंगे इंटू 0.62 करेंगे तो 1 लाख ही आएगा. We will record in the books 1 lakh ka assets and the liability we will pay 1 lakh later. It's a liability. Recording the assets, recording the liability. Somebody will say that, sir, I don't know debit credit journal. I will explain in 5 minutes. Don't worry. एक बार journal में मत जाइए. I will explain. It is very simple, sir. So I have recorded assets in my books of 1 lakh and I have recorded liability. I will pay to the supplier 1 lakh. But to the supplier, I need to pay 159, not 1 lakh. So 1 year from today, 1 year, I will record 1 year interest expenditure. 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000. The 10,000 will be the expense. I have not paid that money to the supplier. I will pay after 5 years. So at the end of first year, the total liability becomes 1,10,000. 10,000 is the interest, not yet paid expense. The liability becomes 1,10,000. The second year, 1,10,000 into 10% interest expenditure 11,000. The second year and the liability figure 1,21,000. The third year, 1,21,000 into 10%, the interest figure is 12,100. Still it is not paid. The liability figure will become 1,31,200 or 33,1,200, whatever. That means in 5 years, when I will go on recording the interest, then the total liability after 5 years will be 1,59,000. And I will pay to the supplier 159, story finish. And every year, whatever interest is there, that I have recorded as an expense every year. That is not an asset. The total cost is 159. But the cost of the asset is 1 lakh because I today purchased the asset of 1 lakh. Whatever I am paying extra is an expense, is an interest, finance expense that I am recording as an expense every year. Since I am not paying, that is added to the liability every year. And at the end of 5th year, the liability is made up. Liability ka payment kar diye. This whole thing we need to do in every chapter of accounting, wherever we will find that the value of something is given not now, it is given 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year later. For that, they will be giving you the discounting factor 0.62, present value interest factor 0.62. They will be giving you. You will multiply that factor with the value which is future value. You will get present value. You record the present value in the books. And you will record the interest every year for that many years. That interest recording is called in accounting language unwinding of interest. The total interest is 59,000. Every year you are recording the interest. That is called unwinding of interest. Because when you read the questions from different topic, they will be using the language unwinding of interest. You will think ये क्या है? Unwinding of interest is just the recording of interest every year. Since the payment or receipts will be later, every year there will be accounting for interest. That interest is called unwinding of interest, so that it will come 1,59,000 which you will pay to the supplier. This is not a portion of a single topic in accounting. This is entire accounting. When we study, ये बार बार चलते रहेगा. तो बार बार इसको बात करेंगे. इससे one time only, once for all we discuss. मैंने ये एग्जाम्पल यहां लिखा कि अगर $100 I have not taken 1 lakh at the rate of 5%, not 10% for 5 years. So $100 at the rate of 5%, 5 years के बाद 125 नहीं 127.6 interest on interest added. Present value is 100, future value 127. Difference is 5-year interest. अगर हम लोग इसको 1,27,000 को, since 1,27,000 को अगर 100 लाना है तो 1.05 to the power 5 से डिवाइड देंगे. This is coming points. Whatever you said 0.62, ये वही है. हम लोग को ये एग्जाम में नहीं निकालना है. इन अकाउंटिंग एग्जाम, SBR, मैनेजमेंट केस स्टडी एंड ऑल दैट, ये नहीं निकालना है. गिवन है. अकाउंटिंग मतलब ये गिवन है. बट व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस? $1 after 5 years. 5% every year for 5 years. From $1 if you deduct, the value today is 0.783. So if $1 value is 0.783, what is the value of 127? Because after 5 years it is 127. 127 into 0.783 will give you the 100 only. Because this is the correct figure in year in the calculation. So ये correct value देगा. You will record today 100 only. But every year you will record interest. First year 5%, 5, the total liability 105. Second year 105 into 5%, the interest is 5.25, the total liability 110.25. ऐसे करके 5 साल में total liability will be 127.63, and you will pay this and you will settle this. Every year the interest recording is called unwinding of interest. If the amount every year is different, then the PVIF. If the amount every year is annuity, आप इसको एक बार मत ध्यान दीजिए. मैंने इसके बारे में अभी कुछ बोला नहीं है आपको. I will say about this later, but first of all, whenever you will record the transaction, you need to record at the current value, present value. If the future value given, which will always be given, you need to find out present value with the factor, present value factor or a discounting factor. That discounting factor for every interest rate, for every period will be different. उसका एक टेबल होता है. उस टेबल को हम लोग बोलते हैं present value factor table. In that table, column wise, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, and all that. And row wise, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, ऐसे करके सारे figure. So if you see in the 5% column, 5 year के सामने, you will find out 0.783. When you multiply the future value with 0.783, you will get the present value. And then you will record in the books. And then you will go on doing unwinding of the interest. That need to be done in every chapter, not only here. For that reason, it is not a part of the chapter. It's a basic discussion. Whenever we will study in accounts, any figure not arising within a year, arising 2 year, 3 year, 4 year later, you need to find out the present value and then you will record that in the books of accounts. That much finance knowledge we need to be there when we are preparing books of accounts, when we are recording the transactions. उसके लिए मैंने ये discuss किया है. जैसे कोई भी चैप्टर पढ़ाए मेरे को बार बार नहीं बोलना पड़े कि why we are doing this, why we are multiplying, why we find out present, because you are recording the transaction today. So today whatever is the value that need to be recorded. Today the value is 100. It is not 127. So you can't record 127 in the books. It will be coming in IFRS around 28 plus 16, 44. 44 में से 20 IFRS में ये आते जाएगा different जगह. तो एक ही बार में बात कर ली. This is basic finance knowledge. Money has time value. Time value of money. $1 today, $1 after 1 year is not same. $1 today is more valuable. because $1 after 1 year will not command that goods and services. So value of $1 after 1 year today is less than $1. You need to record the today's value, not the 1 year later value. 127 is 5 years later. Today you are purchasing an asset. The value of the asset is 100, not 127. You will pay 127. That is interest. That is unwinding. That you will record. But the value of the asset is 100 only. It is not 127.5. Just I am taking example of an asset, but it will be used for different types of things. Liability, assets, this, that. सभी जगह use होएगा. मैं ऐसे ही अभी example assets का ले रहा हूं, so that the understanding will be better. Last line I have not discussed. This one, the amount same every year. It is not essential that we will pay to the supplier whole amount after 5 years. Suppose we are going to pay to the supplier first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. And what we are going to pay? Every time we are going to pay 27, 27, 27, 27, 27. In the previous example, we are assuming we will pay entire money after 5 years. That is 127. Now I am saying we will pay every year 27, 27, 27, 27. That means what? We need to find out the present value of all these figures today. Today at 0. You are standing at 0. Present value. The above example was a single value, present value. This is an example on many values, present value, but the values are same. When these values are different every year, then there is only one way, that first year value, first year factor, second year value. बोलेगा first year factor क्या होता है? 100 will become 105 after 1 year. So the first year factor 100 by 105. Second year it will become 105 plus 5%, 110.25. So the 2 year factor 100 by 110.25. For every year there is a factor. So if the figures are different, you will multiply with all these, with all the different year factor. But if these figures are same, and you will multiply with first year factor. First year factor is what? 100 by 105. ठीक है? Second year factor 100 divided by 110.25 and blah blah blah. That means this factor is say coming 0.95 approx. अब आप कैलकुलेशन मत करना भाई, मैं ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूं. $1 after 1 year, value today 0.95. $27 after 1 year, value today 27 into 0.95. This will be coming say 0.89. I'm just saying approx. Exact calculation मैं नहीं कर रहा. $1 after 2 year, value today 0.89. So $27 after 2 year, value today 27 into 0.89. These factors are different every year, but these values are same. You will multiply each of these value by first year, second year, third year factor. 27 into 0.95 plus 27 into 0.89 plus 27 into third year factor. You take 27 as a common. So in the bracket, first year factor plus second year factor plus third year factor. If all PV factor added together, they are called annuity. They are called annuity factor. If the figures are same, then I don't need to multiply with individual factors. In the question, they will give you annuity factor, this plus this all. So you just multiply 27 into annuity factor. Present value equals to 27 into annuity factor, you will get the present value. But if the figures are different every year, then you don't have any shortcut. 27 into first year factor, 37 into second year factor, 40 into third year factor, no shortcut. But if the figures are same, you can find out present value with the annuity factor, which is summation of present value factor. हम लोग को क्या करना है? What we need to do? We need to record the value today. If there is a single value, you will use the discounting factor. If there is a multiple values, you use annuity factor, because in accounts exam, they generally 99.99% don't give separate values. They will give all the values same. So the present value just multiplying with the factor. If it is single value, multiplied by 0.62. If it is different values, multiplied by the annuity factor, will give you the present value, and you will record that present value in the books. Because today you are acquiring the assets. Today, whatever is the value, you need to record. Later on, you will do unwinding of interest. इसमें interest कैसे record करेंगे, बाद में बात करेंगे. अभी मेरे को केवल इतना ही बोलना था. In accounts also, basic finance is used. Because if the payment or receipt will not be within 1 year, second year, third year, fourth year, you need to record in the books the value today. Whatever the future values are given, you need to find out present value with the discounting factor and annuity factor. Multiply with the discount or annuity factor, the future value will become present value. And that need to be recorded in the books of accounts, whatever may be the transaction, whether it is asset related, liability related, or anything. इतना basic finance आना पड़ेगा. To go into start studying accounts, इतना basic finance जानना पड़ेगा. Are you getting everybody? If any confusion, then please ask. Because we are not studying finance here. वो अलग subject है. उसके लिए 3-4 महीने केवल finance पढ़ना होगा. हम वो नहीं पढ़ रहे. We are not studying finance. But since इसका जरूरत basic, it will be required everywhere. So मैंने पहले ही बोल दिया इसलिए. अक्षय, अमोल, चाहना, चिन्मय, anything to ask?
नो सर, थैंक यू.
ओके सर. सर आपको नहीं पूछना, आप तो फाइनेंस 3 महीना पढ़ के रहे हो सर, आपके लिए अलग है. बट लेकिन जो दूसरे लोग हैं, जिन लोग का फाइनेंस ठीक से पढ़ा हुआ नहीं है, नहीं आता है, ऐसे नॉर्मली इतना बेसिक फाइनेंस एमबीए वाला भी पढ़ा है और आईएफआरएस और एसीसी वाला भी पढ़ा है. बट फिर भी मैं ऐसा मान के चल रहा हूं कुछ नहीं पढ़ा सर. तो एक बार बेसिक से ही चालू करेंगे, बेटर रहेगा. सो आपको कोई प्रायर नॉलेज नहीं चाहिए टू अटेंड द क्लासेस, टू अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. सब चीज आपको शुरू से ही बताया जाएगा. यू डोंट नीड टू टेक टेंशन. किसी को आता है तो भी मैं बता रहा हूं, नहीं आता है तो भी, बिकॉज द क्लास इज रनिंग फॉर एवरीवन, नॉट फॉर एनी वन स्टूडेंट. ओके, सो आगे बढ़ते हैं. नाउ बिफोर एक्चुअली स्टार्टिंग एनी टॉपिक, वी नीड टू हैव बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग that PL account, balance sheet, cash flow, statement of changes in equity, format. Format जानना जरूरी है. Those who are having not very good knowledge of accounting, PL balance sheet कभी बनाया नहीं है, बनाया भी है तो याद नहीं है, प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में भी उससे रिलेटेड काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए थोड़ा सा जरूर होमवर्क यहाँ आता है कि whatever PL balance sheet prepared here without any figures, you need to practice in preparing PL balance sheet in Excel. आप एक्सेल में ऐसे ही कॉलम बनाएंगे और ये सब फिगर्स बगैर अमाउंट लिखेंगे. Those who have good sound understanding, उनको नहीं बनाना है. लेकिन नेक्स्ट क्लास के पहले इट इज एन होमवर्क फॉर दोज हु आर नॉन अकाउंटेंट, हु हैव नेवर प्रिपेयर्ड पीएल बैलेंस शीट और प्रिपेयर्ड फॉरगॉट एवरीथिंग. तो उनको ये फॉर्मेट एक बार लाइन बाय लाइन याद होना चाहिए. You cannot mug up this just by reading this. You need to prepare on your own. It's very simple. So मैं एक बार वो फॉर्मेट के बारे में बात कर रहा हूं so that we understand. Even those who are chartered accountants, उनका भी कहीं कहीं कंफ्यूजन होता है, इसलिए उनके लिए भी जरूरत है. मे बी बेसिक्स दे नो, but still the advanced level to unko bhi janna hai. So first of all, we need to understand the format of PL account, balance sheet and other things. The format is fixed by IAS 1. IAS 1 में ये format prescribed है. IAS 1 हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं. IAS 1 components of financial statement, how they should be presented. What is the format? ये लिखा हुआ है. So you can say that IAS 1 चालू हो गया है indirectly. IAS 1 में ये format है that need to be presented in this manner. Why the presentation should be like this only? What is the purpose of preparing accounts? To compare with the industry, to compare with others. If everybody starts preparing in their own way, then no comparison will be possible. No understanding will be there. तो अगर कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग होएगा ही नहीं तो अकाउंट्स बना के फायदा क्या है? नहीं बनाते. बेटर है. If we want to have the understanding, then everybody need to follow the same principle. So जो भी IFRS follow करेगा, they need to prepare the PL account, balance sheet in this format only. It's a rule. It's not an option. आपको ऐसे ही बनाना होगा. In the balance sheet, we are going to record assets and liabilities. Assets, suppose Saraf Academy, computer, laptop, camera. Suppose there is some amount receivable from a student. He has not yet paid the full money. Today, the receivable value is different. Tomorrow, it will be different. Why? Because today evening, the student has paid the balance amount. So tomorrow, that is not due. Whenever you prepare this balance sheet is always as at on a particular date. Because the assets value yesterday and the assets value tomorrow will be different. So whenever you prepare balance sheet, it always named as on, as at. As on December 31st, 2011, 2021, whatever man. एक particular date को हम ये balance sheet बनाते. What is that date? The year ending date. Your year ending may be December, maybe March, financial year, maybe June, maybe September. Even in India or US or UK, anywhere. Year ending need not be December end or March end. ऐसा कोई rule नहीं है. आपका year ending कोई भी हो सकता है, आपको decide करना है. On that date, when the year ending is there, this is prepared. On that date, what are the assets and liabilities of the company? In the assets, there are two kinds of assets. One is current assets and the other is non-current. Current assets are those assets which will be realized within the operating cycle, within 1 year, or within, you can say, the business nature. Operating cycle means, suppose we are talking about a construction company. They do construction of building, bridges, dams, this, that. In a construction company, the projects are many times 2 years, 3 years, lamba project hota hai. The operating cycle is the entire period of the project. So maybe it is greater than 1 year. The operating cycle is greater than 1 year. Normally, if I'm not talking a specific business, suppose Saraf Academy. अगर मेरा कोई स्टूडेंट से पैसा बाकी है, कब मिलेगा? 10 दिन, 12 दिन, 1 महीना, 2 महीना हो गया. थोड़ी ना इट इज गोइंग टू बी रिसीव्ड आफ्टर ग्रेटर देन 1 ईयर. ऐसा नहीं है, हमारे यहाँ ऐसा नेचर नहीं. सो इन माई केस, व्हेन द रिसीवेबल्स आर देयर, I will be receiving the receivable within operating cycle within 1 year. My operating cycle for receivable is 1 month, 2 month. It is not greater than that. Maybe it is 6 months. तो 1 year के अंदर जो भी पैसा मिलेगा. और if the operating cycle is greater than 1 year, within the operating cycle you will be able to realize that assets. They are called current assets. मेरे यहाँ कोई inventory नहीं है. But a manufacturing organization, a trading organization have inventories. They will get the money against the inventory within the operating cycle within 1 year. Receivables will pay within 1 year. Cash or bank cash already there. But they will be used in the business within 1 year. Any assets where the money will be received within 1 year, they will be realized within 1 year or operating cycle. Then in that case, they are treated as current assets. And those which will give realization more than 1 year, computer, laptop, camera, property, furniture, they are going to give me money in more than 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. They are called non-current assets. The assets need to be classified into 2 categories. Current, non-current. Suppose a student joined the classes. And he said that he will be paying the money in 2 years. Even we don't have this principle, just hypothetical example. 2 साल में मेरे को स्टूडेंट देगा 2 लाख रुपए, 2 लाख रुपीस। सो वेयर आई विल रिकॉर्ड वेदर इन करंट एसेट्स और इन नॉन करंट, कहां रिकॉर्ड करेंगे? इन द बैलेंस
नॉन
शीट।
करंट सर।
सर 2 लाख में से कुछ पैसा विद इन 1 ईयर देगा, वो सारा थोड़ी ना 2 साल बाद देगा।
That portion will be
हाँ,
included in current
that
assets.
will be in the current assets. Whatever I will receive beyond 1 year, that is non-current, because my operating cycle is not 1 year, sir. It is less than 1 year. Normally I receive money from students in 1 or 2 months only. So मेरा operating cycle तो कम है, लेकिन 1 year तक चलेगा। 1 year के अंदर whatever money I will receive, that is a current assets. Beyond 1 year, non-current. Suppose I have surplus money, and that surplus money I have invested in share market, and I have purchased Reliance Industries shares investment. So whether the Reliance Industries shares will be recorded under non-current or will be recorded under current, कहाँ रिकॉर्ड करेंगे?
Non-current sir.
क्यों सर?
Because
सर पर्पस के
you are
ऊपर
not
डिपेंड
doing-
है मतलब।
Sir, it depends what I have decided. If I am going to sell the shares in Reliance Industries in 1 year, then it is a current assets. But if I have decided that I will be holding for a long period, more than 1 year, then I will be recording under non-current assets, sir. My decision will decide where it will be recorded. Yes, sir. Somebody want to
But
say
sir,
anything? Yes, sir.
यस बट सर जो रिसीवेबल्स हैं वो तो ऑलवेज अंडर करंट एसेट्स ही आती हैं ना, इररिस्पेक्टिव वो 1 ईयर के अंदर अकाउंटिंग साइकिल के अंदर हम लोग उनको रिसीव करें या नेक्स्ट ईयर में रिसीव करें, वो तो अंडर
नहीं
करंट
सर,
एसेट से रिकॉर्ड होते हैं।
करंट एसेट्स रिसीवेबल नहीं बताया। करंट एसेट्स बोलता है एनी एसेट्स which are going to be materialized within 1 year or within the operating cycle whichever is higher. अगर आपका ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल 1 साल से ज्यादा है, सो करंट एसेट्स में ही आएगा। लेकिन अगर आपका ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल 1 साल से नीचे है, सो 1 ईयर के अंदर जो पैसा मिलेगा वो करंट एसेट्स में आएगा। सो मेरा ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल 1 ईयर नहीं है सर। हम स्टूडेंट से 6 महीना के अंदर पैसा लेते हैं, मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम। लेकिन अगर कोई स्टूडेंट से हम 2 साल में ले रहे हैं तो वो मेरा ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल के बाहर है, 1 ईयर के बाहर है, सो वो करंट एसेट्स में नहीं आएगा सर, वो नॉन करंट बन जाएगा। अकाउंटिंग तो यही बोलता
तो
है
अगर
सर।
सर हम लोगों ने 12 मंथ्स का हमारा पीरियड है,
हाँ,
हम लोगों ने किसी भी कस्टमर के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया है और हमें पेमेंट रिसीव होनी है आफ्टर 18 मंथ्स, लेकिन हमारा अकाउंटिंग साइकिल 12 मंथ्स का ही है, तो फिर भी
हाँ।
वो रिसीवेबल्स जितनी हैं वो सारे हमारे करंट एसेट्स के अंडर ही आएंगे ना, या हम
नहीं,
उसको 12 मंथ्स
आप
को हम
बोल
लोग
रहे हैं
करंट
कि आपका
एसेट्स में
अकाउंटिंग
लिखेंगे?
साइकिल, आपका ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल 15 मंथ्स है क्या? आप ये बोल रहे हैं 12
नहीं,
मंथ्स से
12 मंथ्स ही है, 12 मंथ्स का अकाउंटिंग साइकिल है,
हाँ, तो
12
3
मंथ्स का
मंथ्स का जो
ऑपरेटिंग
पैसा है वो
साइकिल भी है।
यहाँ आएगा सर, नॉन करंट, वो यहाँ नहीं आएगा सर।
Okay. क्योंकि
ये
कभी ऐसा मैं प्रेजेंटेशन में देखा नहीं कि किसी ने
नहीं देखे
रिसीवेबल्स
तो
को
आप
अपने
यहाँ
नॉन
थोड़ी
करंट
ना
एसेट में
देखेंगे
रिकॉर्ड
सर।
किया हो।
ये जो हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं ये सब आईएएस है, ये तो मैं ऐसे एग्जांपल ले रहा हूं। व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट रिसीवेबल्स, देन देयर इज अ फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, मैंने बोला था IFRS 7, IFRS व्हाट डू यू से 9, IAS 32 ऊपर बोला था। तो जब आप वो पढ़ेंगे वहां रिसीवेबल का अकाउंटिंग पढ़ेंगे हम लोग। फिर इन्वेंट्री, इन्वेंट्री का IAS 2 अकाउंटिंग है। इन्वेस्टमेंट इन सिक्योरिटीज ऑफ रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज, वो भी फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, तो उसके लिए आईएएस पढ़ेंगे। अभी मैं आईएएस की बात नहीं कर रहा। तो जब वो आईएएस पढ़ेंगे तो आईएएस IFRS तो उसमें लिखा हुआ है सर, और क्वेश्चंस करेंगे बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी का, उसमें जैसा मैं बोल रहा हूं वैसा अकाउंटिंग है। आप नहीं किए इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना है कि आप जो किए हैं बस उतना ही अकाउंट्स है सर, फिर तो हम लोग पढ़ने क्या बैठे हैं सर। और ऐसा
नहीं
बहुत
सर, आई
जगह,
मीन कि मैंने
हाँ,
कभी देखा नहीं इसे।
हाँ नहीं देखा आपने, लेकिन ऐसा ही रूल है
जी,
सर
मैंने देखा नहीं कभी।
कि बहुत सारे
तो
IAS IFRS हम लोग पढ़ेंगे जहां पर ऐसा है कि जो एसेट्स है, जहां पर पैसा आपको ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल या 12 मंथ्स के बाद में मिलेगा, इवन दो वो नेचर ऑफ आइटम आपको लग रहा है करंट एसेट्स है, लेकिन वो करंट एसेट्स में नहीं लिखा जाएगा। इट विल बी रिटन अंडर नॉन करंट एसेट्स ओनली सर। एंड दैट टू ऑल्सो इन प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, बिकॉज व्हाट वी डिस्कस्ड इसके पहले, मनी पेएबल रिसीवेबल आफ्टर 1 ईयर प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकाल कर लिखना है, तो उसके साथ में प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कैलकुलेशन भी आ जाएगा सर, दोनों आएगा। यस सर, यू वांट टू से समथिंग, टेल मी सर। मतलब मैं तो केवल एक बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बिकॉज प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट देयर आर 10 IAS IFRS, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स देयर आर 3 IAS IFRS, 3 के अलावा इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रॉपर्टी 4, intangible assets there are 3-4 IAS IFRS, inventory there is 1 IAS, trade receivable there is financial instrument IFRS, cash equivalent financial instrument IAS IFRS, assets held for sale and all that is again financial instrument IAS IFRS. सर ये तो सारा कितना सारा 50% तो ये सिलेबस है, मैं कैसे अभी बता दूं? मैं तो एक जनरल नॉलेज दे रहा हूं कि बैलेंस शीट में नॉन करंट करंट अलग अलग दिखाना है। क्यों दिखाना है? अकाउंटिंग बॉडी को ऐसा क्यों लगा कि ऐसे दिखाना है? पागल है क्या वो लोग? कोई लॉजिक तो होगा ना। सर, इफ आई नीड टू मीट माई एक्सपेंडिचर्स इन बिजनेस, दे कैन बी मेट फ्रॉम दिस आइटम, दे कैन नॉट बी मेट फ्रॉम दिस। अगर मेरे को सैलरी पे करना है, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू सेल माई कैमरा एंड पे द सैलरी, तो पढ़ाएंगे कैसे आप? हाउ आई विल डू माई बिजनेस? यू कांट रन योर बिजनेस ऑन रेगुलर बेसिस विद द नॉन करेंट एसेट्स। रेगुलर बिजनेस डे टू डे एक्सपेंडिचर्स करने के लिए करंट एसेट्स काम में आएगा। सो वेदर योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज लिक्विड, वेदर योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कैन पे द लायबिलिटीज व्हेन इट विल अराइज, दैट विल बी जज्ड थ्रू द करंट एसेट्स, नॉट फ्रॉम द नॉन करंट। तो अगर अलग से दिखाएंगे नहीं तो पता कैसे चलेगा? अगर आपके बॉडी में मान लीजिए कोई प्रॉब्लम है, मेरे बॉडी में कोई प्रॉब्लम है, ब्लड टेस्ट करेंगे तो उसका रिपोर्ट दिखाएगा ना कि ब्लड में ये इश्यू है, ब्लड प्रेशर व्हाटएवर। तो ये कंपनी का हेल्थ को जानना है। तो अगर करंट नॉन करंट एसेट्स इफ नॉट गिवन सेपरेटली, वी कांट एनालाइज द हेल्थ ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। हम क्या कमेंट करेंगे? हम किसको एडवाइस करेंगे कंपनी का शेयर खरीदो मत खरीदो, होल्ड करो, कंपनी को लोन दो मत दो? कैसे एडवाइस करेंगे? हाउ वी विल एडवाइज एनीबॉडी इन द राइट डायरेक्शन? हाउ वी कैन हेल्प द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू टेक स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजन? वी कांट. So it is not a question of IFRS, US GAAP, Indian accounting, सारा accounting में ये सेम है। मैंने जो शुरू में बोला कि डोंट टेक टेंशन कि IFRS पढ़ रहे हैं, इंडियन अकाउंटिंग तो नहीं आता है, US GAAP तो नहीं आता है। सर, दुनिया भर में अकाउंटिंग 90% सेम है। डोंट टेक टेंशन कि आप IFRS पढ़ रहे हैं, आप ये वाला अकाउंटिंग नहीं पढ़ रहे, सब पढ़ रहे हैं आप सर एक साथ। लेकिन आप बोलेंगे इन सबको अकाउंटिंग आज ही कैसे, फिर पढ़ेंगे क्या 3 मंथ्स तो यही सब पढ़ना है ना, बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करने। इसमें भी ऑर्डर यही मेंटेन करना है, प्रॉपर्टी प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट पहले, देन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, देन इंटेंजिबल, करंट एसेट्स में इन्वेंट्री पहले, ट्रेड रिसीवेबल एंड ऑल दैट। इसको टू रिमेंबर दिस, व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, द नॉन करंट एसेट्स आर illiquid assets. Illiquid means to convert them into cash will take time. They cannot be easily converted into cash. The current assets are liquid assets. They can be converted into cash faster. But current assets में inventory will take more time to be converted into cash than the trade receivable. और ये तो cash है ही. So illiquidity के basis पे ये लिखा जाता है. The most illiquid assets is written first. The least liquid assets, फटाफट लिक्विड बनेगा, वो सबसे लास्ट में लिखा जाता है. That is the nature of recording the assets in the balance sheet. This way the assets are recorded. ये सब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? एक होता है अकाउंट्स में हम लोग बोलते हैं अकाउंटिंग कॉन्सेप्ट्स, थोड़ा सा मैं नाम लूंगा सबको रिकलेक्ट होगा। कॉस्ट मेजरमेंट कॉन्सेप्ट, मैचिंग प्रिंसिपल, सेपरेट एंटिटी कॉन्सेप्ट, प्रूडेंट कॉन्सेप्ट, बहुत सारा कॉन्सेप्ट्स होता है अकाउंट्स के अंदर। वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स कहां लिखा गया है? दैट कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर रिटन अंडर द हेडिंग इन IFRS, इन इंडियन अकाउंटिंग ऑल्सो। हम लोग बोलते हैं अकाउंट्स इज माने द IFRS इज प्रिपेयर्ड बेस्ड ऑन अ फ्रेमवर्क। The framework are called conceptual framework of accounting. Conceptual framework के अंदर concepts, principles are written, and based on that concepts and principles, the IAS, IFRS are developed. 28 IAS and 16 IFRS, 44 वो concepts के basis पे बनाया गया है, which is called accounting concepts, accounting conventions. बोलेगा सर आपने पहले तो पढ़ाया नहीं, वो अगर मैं पढ़ाने जाऊंगा ना, आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू एक्सप्लेन एनीथिंग, दैट आई विल टेक इन द लास्ट क्लास। सारा पढ़ने के बाद so that I can give examples. What I have studied in the classes, automatically you know the concepts. But practical life may it go reverse. In the practical life, first of all, the accounting concepts, conceptual framework is a boundary. Framework is a Bible. Framework is a Gita. First of all, framework will be prepared. Then the IFRS will come. But हम लोग पहले IFRS पढ़ने वाले. Then we will study the framework. From the framework also questions will be there in the exams. But अभी नहीं पढ़ रहे. अभी समझाना मुश्किल है. Maybe to a chartered accountant, those who have very sound knowledge of accounting, I can teach them. But so many students, I cannot teach them. जैसे somebody said that I have never heard the name of IFRS properly. तो उनको concepts कैसे समझाएं अभी? अभी बाइबल गीता का सार नहीं दे सकते, वो बाद में देंगे. अभी हम केवल बेसिक बात कर रहे हैं. फॉर्मेट क्यों ऐसा है, क्या है? हर चीज का एक लॉजिक है. Without logic, there is no format prepared, man. So the logic of preparing the format, illiquidity, illiquid assets earlier, then the liquid assets. Even within the non-current and current, we are maintaining that. Illiquid pehle, then the liquid. US GAAP just tries ulta. US GAAP prepare the balance sheet first current, then non-current. Or current may be pehle cash and cash equivalent. Reverse, just reverse. क्यों? मालूम नहीं है सर. इसका कोई लॉजिक नहीं है. यूएस गैप वाला लोग उल्टा करके लिखता है. इंडियन अकाउंटिंग, इंड गैप, इंड एएस एंड आईएफआरएस फॉलो दिस प्रिंसिपल. बट दोनों ही नॉन करंट करंट एसेट्स लिखने बोल रहे हैं. दोनों ही रिकॉर्ड करने बोल रहे हैं सेपरेटली, so that we can judge the liquidity of the organization. Whether they can meet up their obligations which is arising on business regularly, क्या वो मीट कर पाएंगे कि नहीं. रेगुलरली वो लोग देखना है, इसलिए ऐसे एसेट्स लिखना जाना चाहिए. सराफ एकेडमी का बैलेंस देखकर मैं लिख दूंगा टोटल एसेट्स 5 करोड़, नहीं समझ में आएगा. If I will record current, non-current, current का breakup, you will understand about the financials, about the health of Saraf Academy much better way as compared to it is not written in a proper way. Accounts बनाने का तो पर्पस है ना. वो पर्पस अगर फुलफिल नहीं होगा तो बना के फायदा क्या है? To achieve that purpose, this is the format. Those who have never prepared PL balance sheet properly, please हाथ जोड़कर विनती है, क्लास खत्म होने के बाद, without seeing this, you need to prepare this format without any figures. Those who have sound understanding, उनके लिए normal बात है. Now, from where these assets came, if I have computer, laptop, camera, property, plant, furniture, कहाँ से आया? पैसा कहां से आया? From where the money came? The money came from two sources: owners money or financiers money. Owners money, shareholder money in a company, in a proprietorship business, proprietor money. But whether it's a company, whether it's a proprietor, और भी पैसा आया, बैंक से लोन लिए. We have purchased goods on credit. So there are outsiders, there are owners. Owners का money is called equity and outsider money is called liability. Equity and liabilities. If I have assets in Saraf Academy 10 crore, that means my equity and liability is 10 crore. अगर 10 करोड़ का assets है तो आया कहां से? 10 करोड़ आया तब आया ना. In the accounts there is debit credit. I will discuss debit credit. Don't take tension. If somebody know debit credit accounts में वो 5 मिनट का बात है. For a non-accountant, even to a doctor, engineer, I can explain in 5 minutes. So don't take tension about debit credit. अभी उसका बात नहीं हो रहा है. पूरे के पूरे सिलेबस में पढ़ाते हुए I will discuss debit credit 5 minutes each, at least 50 times. बार बार याद दिलाऊंगा. Because it's generally the student don't do the recording, don't follow the instruction. That's the problem. अभी मैंने नहीं बोला, टेंशन मत लीजिए. Whatever money in the business is coming from two sources: the owner's money, the outsider money. Owner money is equity and outsider money is liability. So equity and liability is the balance sheet second part. The balance sheet second part is equity and liabilities. Equity, owner's money. If it is a company, the shareholders money. The shareholder money are these also. Not only the shareholder. Suppose my company is already running for last 25-30 years. So in my company, the shareholder money came in the beginning. उसके बाद shareholder ने पैसा नहीं दिया है और share issue नहीं हुआ है. But then in last 25 years, my company has generated income every year. Income means tuition fees minus the expenditure balance net income. All expenditures minus. That income belongs to owner because everybody is paid. Outsider is paid. The balance belongs to owners. That is the owner money only. That is called retained earnings. There are other components of equity. बाद में बात करेंगे. That is owner's money. The liability is of two types. One is those liability which is payable beyond 1 year. One is those liability which is payable within 1 year. You understand current, non-current assets, similarly current, non-current liability. Liability which will be payable beyond 1 year, beyond operating cycle is non-current. Liability which will be payable within 1 year is current liabilities. And then the total of the balance sheet, equity and liabilities. In IFRS language, we say the balance sheet as a statement of financial position. We don't use the word balance sheet. But in India, we can say statement of financial position, we can say balance sheet. Dono chalega. In US GAAP also, we can say statement of financial position, we can say balance sheet. But in IFRS, we don't use the language balance sheet. We use the language statement of financial position. I have not written oblique balance sheet. But in the class, whenever I will discuss in coming 3 months, I may be using the language balance sheet or statement of financial position. Doesn't matter. But IFRS don't use the language balance sheet. A statement of financial position as on a particular date, the assets and liability figures. Assets, non-current, current, liability and equity and non-current, current liabilities. The total will be said as the statement of financial position. As on a date, what is the position? Then the second component of financial statement is a statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. What is profit and loss? What is other comprehensive income? How this statement is presented. The profit or loss is not calculated on 1 day. It is calculated in the entire period, generally 1 year. The profit and loss in Saraf Academy will be calculated at the end of the year. In my case, the year ending is March, just next 15-20 days later. So in my case, I will be calculating from 1st April 2024 to 31st March 2025. The profit and loss account and income after 15-20 days. I will be calculating. So this is for the year. This is not as on. This is of the entire period. But the statement of financial position is as on. This is for the year, for the entire year. In the entire year, Saraf Academy, what is the tuition fees? That is revenue. In the entire year, for the tuition fees, there is software expenditure. There is to run the tuition, that rent, electricity and all that. That is cost of sale. Balance is gross profit. For tuition, for getting the students some marketing expenditures, that is some commission and all that, each paid. That is distribution. Admin, suppose there is some administrative staff, accounts, audit and all that. That is administration expenditures. The balance is called operating income. By doing the entire year operations, my operational income. In this operational income, if I have invested surplus money in share market, FD and all that, then that will become my investment income. If I have taken loan to do the business, then that is called finance cost. Then the balance becomes profit before tax. From the profit before tax, I need to pay on my income tax. The balance is profit after tax was profit for the year. Under that, we are adding other comprehensive income. What is other comprehensive income? Suppose this is a property. This property I purchased 20 years back, say for 1 crore, 1 CR. But the value of the property today is 5 crore. And I want to record in the balance sheet, in a statement of financial position, 5 crore. I can, but I'm not giving 4 crore to anybody. This is mine only. 1 crore 20 years back. Today it is 5 crore. I want to record in the statement of financial position under non-current assets property 5 crore. 4 crore extra. This 4 crore will be coming here as other comprehensive income. Why this is not a profit? Property is not sold out and it is not going to be sold where I will teach. Property is not sold out and it is not going to be sold. So this property, that property, whatever the increase in the value of the property is called other comprehensive income. For the time being, for your understanding, you can say other comprehensive income means those incomes which we have not realized, which we will not realize. But still that is an income, because in the Saraf Academy, the assets value has gone up by 4 crore. So that 4 crore is written as other comprehensive income. In this, there are 2 parts. Classified to PL, not classified to PL. This I am not in a position to explain now, because this requires detailed explanation, not studied anything. अभी format की बात कर रहे हैं. अभी आप इतना सोचिए, other comprehensive income are generally those income which are not realized, which will not realize also. Not realized also. They are recorded as other comprehensive income. The total become total comprehensive income. In the profit, you will add other comprehensive if it is there. The total will be called total comprehensive income. Profit for the year, say 1 lakh. Other comprehensive, say 20,000. So 1,20,000 becomes total comprehensive income. And this is called statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. IFRS, Indian accounting, US GAAP, all are saying that you can prepare the PL account and other comprehensive income together in one statement, or you can prepare up till profit for the year 1, other comprehensive separate, not combined. You can prepare separately the other comprehensive income, not need to be added with the profit, not to be shown in one statement. Sara, US GAAP, Indian accounting, IFRS, all say both are allowed. आपकी मर्जी है. But most of the organizations in the world follow this approach. They record the income and the other comprehensive income together. And the total is called total comprehensive income. Now, suppose I'm talking for ICICI Bank. For ICICI Bank, what will be the revenue? For ICICI Bank, what will be the revenue?
इंटरेस्ट
जो हम लोग डेली करते हैं वही हमारा बिजनेस होता है. An organization can do more than one business. रिलायंस ये सब बहुत सारा बिजनेस कर रहे हैं. हमारे यहाँ रेवेन्यू में ट्यूशन फीस और कोई दूसरा नहीं है सर. हमारे यहाँ रेवेन्यू मीन्स ट्यूशन फीस. बट देयर आर मेनी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज डूइंग डिफरेंट बिजनेस. आईटीसी कंपनी इन इंडिया, रेवेन्यू मीन्स, अब उन्होंने आईटीसी होटल तो अलग कर दिया है, तो रेवेन्यू मीन्स टोबैको का सेल, रेवेन्यू मीन्स फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स का सेल, रेवेन्यू मीन्स पेपर का सेल, सब है उनका. अगर रेवेन्यू बहुत अलग अलग तरह का है, अलग अलग बिजनेसेस है, तो आपको नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में सब अलग अलग दिखाना पड़ेगा. फ्रॉम टोबैको बिजनेस, फ्रॉम दिस बिजनेस, फ्रॉम दिस, सब अलग अलग, सब कुछ अलग अलग ब्रेकअप नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में नहीं है. ऐसा तो केवल यहां बहुत डिटेल है अकाउंट्स में. अकाउंट्स इज नॉट साइंस, इट्स टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट. बट देन इफ यू अप्लाई योर ब्रेन, then the technicality will reduce and it will become a practical subject. रेवेन्यू क्या होगा? वर्ड रेवेन्यू है. 1000 तरह का इंडस्ट्री है, 1000 टाइप्स ऑफ बिजनेसेस आर देयर, एवरीबडी हैज अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ रेवेन्यू. सपोज देयर इज अ कंपनी सेलिंग लॉटरी टिकट्स. उनका डेली, एवरी डे दे सेल लॉटरी टिकट्स, सो सेल ऑफ लॉटरी टिकट्स इज रेवेन्यू फॉर देम. एनी बिजनेस कैन बी नेचर. 1000 तरह का बिजनेस है. स्टार्टअप कितना खुल रहा है. रेवेन्यू मीन्स आपका व्हाट डे टू डे बिजनेस एक्टिविटी क्या है, उससे वॉट एवर इनफ्लोज यू आर गेटिंग, टू जनरेट दोज इनफ्लोज, वॉट एवर एक्सपेंडिचर्स यू आर इनकरिंग, दे आर कॉल्ड ऑपरेशनल एक्सपेंडिचर. दिस इज कॉल्ड ऑपरेशनल इनकम. देन अदर देन ऑपरेशनल, सपोज इन सराफ एकेडमी, इन्वेस्टमेंट इन शेयर मार्केट, डिविडेंड इनकम. Bank may have the interest income, that is investment income, that is not my operational income, non-operational. My business will be good if my operational income is very high. My business is not good if my non-operational income is high. You can say Saraf Academy is a good organization when my operational income is very good, very high. Non-operational will not arise again and again. Non-operational losses may there will not arise again and again. We need to focus on operational income. So accounting body is saying that when you prepare PL account, you need to show operational income separately, non-operational separately. In the operational, you need to show breakup of gross profit, then the operating income. And then if there are non-realized income and all that, then they need to be recorded as other comprehensive income so that the people can understand the income, the expenses, the organization worth, and they can advise to others what decision to be taken. Investment should be done or not, shares should be purchased or not, goods should be given on credit or not, loans should be given or not, goods should be purchased or not. Customer बनना है, आप एडवाइस दे पाओगे. अगर ये सब रहेगा नहीं तो आप कैसे एडवाइस दोगे? And rules are universally same. IFRS same. इंडिया में भी सेम रूल है, यूएस गैप में भी सेम है, अलग कुछ नहीं है सर, सब जगह सेम है. Don't take tension. You are studying IFRS. You are not studying US gap. You are not studying. सब पढ़ रहे हैं सर. जहां डिफरेंस आएगा मैं बोलते जाऊंगा. अभी मेरा पर्पस वो है नहीं. अभी मेरा पर्पस आपको फॉर्मेट के बारे में फील देना कि आप दुनिया में wherever you are, this is the format, sir. Some examples on other comprehensive income written. You may read that, but maybe you will not understand some of the things. I have not written much because I have not taught anything. I'm just going in the format. Whatever in the balance sheet we are writing as equity, owner's money. The breakup of the owner's money is called a statement of changes in equity. This is the third statement. In IFRS, in Indian accounting, in US GAAP, everywhere this is required. The owner's money breakup. Those who are the owner of the business in a company, shareholder money breakup. You remember that in the statement of financial position balance sheet, it was written share capital, it was written retained earning, and it was written other components of equity. These are other components of equity. Some two items are written. One is share premium, one is revaluation reserve. What is share premium? If a company issues shares at most than face value, suppose the face value 1 rupee, the company issued at 5 rupees. So 4 rupees which we are receiving extra is share premium. Revaluation, the assets revalued, revaluation. There are many other items. It is just 4. There are many other components of equity. We will discuss in many chapters. But suppose basic 4. What is the opening balance at the beginning? What is the changes during the year? What is the new issue of shares? From the PL account, there is a profit. The profit will be added to retained earnings, but the other comprehensive will be coming to revaluation reserve. The profit is 2 parts. Other comprehensive here, retained earning will be the profit portion. And what is the closing balance? This closing balance will be recorded in the balance sheet. The equity, the share premium, the retained earning and everything. Saifuddin, interest. What do you want to say about interest, sir? Saifuddin, are you there? If not there, then interest is not the owner's money. Interest you are paying to the financiers. They are called a debt. Interest is not coming in a statement of changes in equity directly. The profit you are writing here is after interest and tax. Whatever profit in the PL account, income statement, profit and loss for the year, that is after deducting interest. Interest is not a part of a statement of changes in equity. It is paid to the finance providers. The finance provider are not the owner of the business. Interest means finance cost. Either you say the word interest or you say the word finance cost. आपको जो भी बोलना हो सर. Then statement of cash flow. I have not prepared the format. When I will teach statement of cash flow at that time. In any organization, the money inflow outflow comes from 3 sources. One is operations, tuition fees, salary, rent, electricity, all. Investing. purchase of computer laptop, sale of computer laptop, investment in the shares and all that is called investment. Financing, shares issue, loan taken, loan repayment, that is called financing. These are the three cash flow activities. There is a format for a statement of cash flow. For the time being, the focus is not there. For that reason, I have not written the format. And then comes the notes to accounts. Everything which we are writing in the balance sheet, in PL account, have different way of presentation, different way of calculating the value, different possibilities are there. You are following a particular policy, particular principle. You need to write those principles here in the notes to accounts. How you have prepared the financials, what principles you have followed, how you have valued the assets, what you are doing. You need to write that in the notes to accounts. Why? Because if you don't write this, nobody can understand. Because the same assets can be written in different way. The value will be different. All are correct. अरे भैया आपने कैसे बनाया बताओ ना भाई, आपका लॉजिक क्या है, what you have used, what principles you have followed. For that reason we need to study different IAS, IFRS, है ना? So that need to be recorded in the notes to accounts as disclosures. If that is not there, we don't understand accounting. हम लोग समझ नहीं पाएंगे balance sheet PL. And these disclosures, whatever the principal company follow, they should be ethical. The company should not follow unethical principles to prepare PL account, balance sheet and other things. कभी भी unethical approach follow नहीं करना है. So when these are written, we understand whether the accounts, any loopholes are there or not, where the assets or liabilities are overstated, understated, what the accounting treatment is not appropriate. Accordingly, we will advise others. यहाँ पर बहुत सारा बात लिखा हुआ, मे भी कुछ आप पढ़ोगे नहीं समझ में आएगा, अभी नहीं आएगा, बोलेगा फिर आप लिखे क्यों हैं? It's, you can say that I have not written much because it needs to be studied from different IAS, IFRS. थोड़ा तो लिखना पड़ेगा ना सर. मैं उनको अभी नहीं रीड कर रहा, बस मैं इतना बोलना चाह रहा हूं. If I am recording the value of this computer, laptop, camera, property, मैं कोई भी वैल्यू लिख सकता हूं. बहुत सारा ऑप्शन है मेरे पास. But whatever value I am writing, how I am getting that value, what principle I have followed, I need to know, disclose in the notes to accounts. I can charge depreciation different methods, straight line method, reducing balance method, blah, blah, many things are there. But what I am doing, I need to write here so that people will understand this way the accounts is prepared, this way the profit has come, this way the assets value is there, so that they can take their informed decisions. सबसे important in a professional life, if somebody will say that I'm having very good knowledge of accounting, disclosures, notes to accounts, not the PL balance sheet, वो तो कैसे भी? Because a good accountant will never say that this is the profit. A good accountant will always say that how much profit you want in the books. If I'm going for an interview and they are asking me these are the details, what will be the profit? I should ask them what profit you want. I will bring that only. Then they will hire me. Not that what profit is coming, then they will hire me. No, because accounts is not science. So disclosure notes to accounts are more important than the statement. Knowledgeable persons look at the disclosures, not the PL balance sheet, because they know that PL balance sheet profit loss तो अपने आप लाना है यार. Same data से अलग अलग profit आएगा. That we need to understand. This is just a format. Some of the things are written here. It will be difficult to understand these things in detail because there are separate IAS for discontinued operation, IFRS 5. There are separate IAS for all these things, but फिर भी एक बार थोड़ा सा basic understanding format related जानना पड़ेगा. Suppose I have 5 tuition center. I don't have, but I'm just taking hypothetical example. I have 5 tuition center. And one of the tuition center I am closing because the physical classes are not so much. Online classes can be taken from one place. So one of the tuition center, there is no public coming, not going to, I am closing. I am selling, I am disposing. From that, there is some loss or gain on loss or profit on sale of assets. That business I am closing. That business loss or gain, whatever, in the PL account, it need to be written separately as profit or loss from discontinued operation. When I'm writing sales, cost of goods sold, admin, selling, all are from continuing business. but the discontinue will be one single line. What is my profit loss from discontinue? The breakup of this I will be showing in notes to accounts. Why? Because if there is a loss, this is not going to arise again. This is my operation. This is discontinued operation. This was operation maybe this year, but next year this operation will not be there. So if I don't show this separately, then maybe the loss will be mixed with this. And I will realize that this organization is very bad. But the organization has already decided that they will not continue this. So this is written separately. If there is a huge income here, then this income will not arise again because I am discontinuing. Nobody will stop a business which is giving income. Anybody will stop a business which is not giving income. So if you stopped the business, then relating to that, whatever the loss gain need to be recorded separately so that the people can understand, they can take informed decision. But the discontinued business, we need to understand the definition. Not that the closing of a tuition center is a discontinued business. Because I'm not closing the teaching part. I'm just closing one of the division that may be treated as a discontinued operation, may not be. That we will discuss later. But if that is there, that need to be written separately. Then you are getting profit for the period and then the other comprehensive income and all that. Then suppose for some of the years, I have recorded depreciation by straight line method. What is a straight line method? The depreciation every year is same. This is a computer, 1,50,000 cost. I am going to use for 5 years. Every year depreciation 1,50,000 by 5. 1,50,000 by 5 is coming 30,000. For 2 years I have recorded depreciation 30,000. But now I don't want to follow a straight line. I want to change the method. Reducing balance method. Somebody will say that, sir, I don't do a straight line. अभी मैं नहीं बता रहा, मैं तो ऐसे example ले रहा हूँ. There are many examples. I am controlling myself because many examples you can't understand anything. But I mean to say that when you are preparing PL account, balance sheet, when you are preparing books of accounts, you are estimating so many things. Court case is going on, whether you will lose, whether you will win. If you lose, how much payment you need to do? You don't know. You need to estimate. Some policies, you are following some policy for some year, you are changing your policy for next year onwards. For the assets, you are recording the original cost. Now you are recording the revalued figure. You are changing your policy. So in the accounts, this happens. Or sometimes error. In past years, you have did some mistake. You did some mistake. You recorded wrongly. Now you want to rectify that. That is called policies, estimates, and errors, which you want to rectify. When you do that, how it will be affecting the books of accounts, the PL account, that need to be properly incorporated. That is written here. Don't read so much. ये अलग से एक IAS है. We will study IAS 10. We will study IAS 10. We will study IAS 8. IAS 8 we will study when we will study inventory IAS 2. IAS 8 is changes in policies, estimates, and errors. There we will study this. But for the timing, I'm just saying that these are going to affect your balance sheet and PL account figures and values. The prior period items, there is, as I said, IAS 10. Something which is relating to prior year, you forgot to record, now you are recording. You forgot to record earlier, prior period errors or prior period items. They will affect your balance sheet, assets and liability. Some example is written. You can read this. अगर नहीं भी read करते हैं चलेगा. मेरे को कोई टेंशन नहीं. Because अभी मैं इसके बारे में, मेरा केवल पर्पस यही था to bring the entire class at the same level. If somebody don't have knowledge of PL account, balance sheet, format, statement of changes in equity, क्यों बनता है, क्या उसका format है, they need to know. Because without that, I cannot start teaching you any of the study in accounting. उसके बदले हम कुछ चालू नहीं कर सकते. Those who don't have knowledge, please, one important homework, you need to prepare just the format of PL account, balance sheet, statement of changes in equity without any values. Cross. जैसे नोट्स में वैसे ही आपको लिखना है. Those who have this knowledge, कोई बात नहीं है, आप आगे बढ़िए, अब आप आगे समझ सकते हैं. So these are the two basic things. Time value of money, present value, future value concept, and basic format of accounting, format of financial statement, format of statement of financial position, balance sheet, PL account, statement of changes in equity. Read once. If you have any doubt, you can ask. But मैं धीरे धीरे करके सभी टॉपिक को कवर करूंगा. Now I want to start the first topic because these were general knowledge for making yourself ready for accounting. The syllabus introduction, different IS, IFRS, what is IFRS, what is US GAAP, how we are going to study, the basic which is required everywhere in the entire syllabus format, and the present value, future value concept. Now we can start one by one topic. The non-current assets will take approximately 4 classes, 3 hours each, 12-hour study, in which we will cover non-current property, plant, equipment, IS 16, investment property, IS 40, government grant, IS 20, IS 23, borrowing cost, IFRS 16, leasing, IS 38, intangible assets, IS 36, impairment, and IFRS 5, non-current assets held for sale. All these. Around 10 IS IFRS out of 44, 10 तो यहीं पर है. Those 10 IS IFRS we will cover in 4 classes. We don't want to start from here because it's a fresh knowledge. With fresh mind, we want to start in the next class. यहाँ रोकना चाह रहा हूं मैं. If anybody has anything to ask. Because ये 5-10 minutes में होएगा नहीं. So बीच में बेकाम का दिमाग खराब करके there is no benefit. We will start with the fresh mind, fresh thing, non-current assets accounting.
सर फॉर रिवीजन आप ये स्लाइड्स हमारे साथ शेयर करेंगे?
जो स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर्ड है उनको तो करेंगे सर, जो नहीं है कैसे करेंगे? आर यू रजिस्टर्ड विद अस?
मैं तो रजिस्टर्ड हूं फिर.
हाँ तो आपको मिलेगा, अभी क्लास खत्म होते ही तुरंत मिलेगा सर, हर क्लास में.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
जरूर मिलेगा सर. बिकॉज मेरे को मालूम नहीं है ना कौन कौन रजिस्टर्ड, इसलिए मैंने बोला सॉरी. Those who are registered, they are all saved in an Excel sheet. All mail will be selected and straight away you will get this after the class, all these notes. After every class. Because I will go on adding something. I will be doing some. अभी तो मैंने कोई क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं किया, करते जाएंगे ना धीरे धीरे. तो आपको हर दिन क्लास के बाद नोट्स मिलेगा सर. और anybody has anything to ask भाई? Anything, any question, anything to discuss?
सर ये जो एसबीआर है ये अपन इंटरनेशनल सीखने वाले हैं, यूके का सीखने वाले हैं?
इंटरनेशनल सर. हम लोग यूके इंडिया नहीं सीख रहे हैं. वैसे यूके में आईएफआरएस तो बेसिकली वहीं से जन्मा है ना, मेन कंट्री वही है. तो नॉर्मली यूके और इंटरनेशनल में बहुत कम डिफरेंस. बट फिर भी हम लोग के यहाँ स्टूडेंट तो यूके, नॉन यूके, दुबई, तंजानिया, सऊदी, यहाँ पर इंडिया, सब जगह से है ना. तो हम लोग इंटरनेशनल वाला कर रहे, हम लोग यूके वेरिएंट नहीं कर रहे सर.
ओके सर.
तो जब आप एग्जाम देंगे आप नेशनल वेरिएंट सेलेक्ट करेंगे. फॉर एसीसी स्टूडेंट दे नीड टू सेलेक्ट. फॉर आईएफआरएस सीमा देयर इज नो वेरिएंट. उनके लिए अकाउंट सब्जेक्ट है.
सर ये जो एसपीआर है ये F7 और P2 का न्यू नेम है?
Anybody, anything to ask? Any confusion? Maybe you joined later. You were not in the beginning. कुछ पूछना है?
सर ये जो एसबीआर है ये F7 और P2 का न्यू नेम है?
Just a request, whenever you do the class, don't unmute yourself unless you don't have to ask anything. Huh? Request है भाई. Do we have a mandatorily learning the things that we have discussed today, or we are going? You cannot learn anything because if I will learn, I cannot teach to a single student. No mug up learning, understanding. हर जगह मैंने लॉजिक दिया है सर. At not a single place I have not said anything just as a format or anything. सब जगह लॉजिक देकर बोला है. So don't try to mug up. But you need to do the recording so that you understand that logic again. You need to make some notes so that you're able to, I mean to say, keep the logic in your brain for a longer time. I joined late. I would like to find out the IFRS has three financial statements. I have said three financial means statement of financial position, balance sheet, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity. But normally in IFRS and all accounting for statement of cash flow also, which I have not said the format. And the fifth one, notes to accounts, disclosures, total five. Five things, mutti, mukka. That is called statement of financial position. Financial statement. Five portions, sir, not three. Five for everybody. Not only IFRS, not only SBR, not only CIMA MCA, सबके लिए अकाउंट सब्जेक्ट है सर, पांचों, all five. Bernard, you joined very late. You need to do the recordings here. I can understand that the time is not so convenient for you. But what we will do, sir, as I said yesterday also. Okay. Just follow my instructions. You will not find problem. Even though if you are doing the live class, then also you have to do recordings. Everybody who is there in the live class has to do recordings. Then only you will get a better person. And best person when you make some notes. After doing the recording, you make your own understanding, write up in any language whatsoever, then you become perfect. So one class study need to be done for next 2 days. Then another class for next 2 days. Then some extra question. Abhi to nahi hai. That is 5 days study. No other study, sir. You follow this for 15 days, you will feel the difference. But if you don't follow what I am saying, then you will also feel the difference that you are not getting the 100% clarity. So everybody should follow whatever I am saying. The rest you can leave on me. Okay. If there is any class will be happen for FS preparation before we start the IFRS. The FS preparation is the syllabus. Everywhere it is a compulsory question. But without understanding non-current asset, how you prepare? Without understanding how the value is derived, how it is accounted for, how you prepare. So FS preparation we will be doing after 1.5 months. For 1.5 months, we need to first of all make ourselves ready for FS preparation. खाना बनाने तो तब जाएंगे ना when the ingredients are ready. The vegetable cereals are ready. How can you make the food without the ingredients? So first of all, make the ingredients ready. Then you prepare the FS, sir. Okay. We all need to study the preparation of FS. I have started with the FS only. But now I cannot go into FS preparation without explaining the different IS, IFRS. You will not understand anything. Maybe I will teach you for 10 classes. But when I will go in a systematic manner, then only you can understand the FS preparation.
Sir, what is the date for the next class?
Sir, the classes are fixed, as I said in the beginning only, sir. I don't know whether you were there from the beginning. You will say I was not there. So you need to do the recording, sir. I said in the beginning only when I read the notes, go through.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.